It's East Gambia searching for their ninth flag, South searching for their 10th. Nothing bigger in footy in the Limestone Coast of the Lower South East in a grand final, but particularly between these arch-respected rivals, East Gambia and South Gambia. It will be the old bull, Mick Ryan, coach of South, past Western Border medalist, jumps around all day for those frisky young legs, and Sammy Clark, the dairy farmer, who will contest the opening ball. Umpire Mel Booth in his first Western Border Grand Final. He will throw the ball up, and up it goes. Up go the big men. Nobody wins it. Flicks out the back, heading towards South goal. Coming through is Herbert. Play on. No easy free kick, says the umpire. Boy, the boys are throwing themselves in there. It's Howard. Howard flicks the ball out. There is the first free kick. It goes to previous Western Border medalist Brent Howard, and he will bomb the ball deep with the big mongrel punt into the 50 over the G-spot, over the back of the pack, rolling towards the goals. Pushed through there by O'Connor, the big mean Misley fullback for East Gambia. And this will mean that Reagan Clark, number 54 for East Gambia, at the 1 minute mark of the first quarter will bring the ball back into play. He looks upfield, keeping in mind he's kicking to a fairly stiff breeze, so he's got to make a decision here. Does he hug the boundary or does he go for a play? Gets right behind the ball holds up as expected. Big pack up, fisted down by Benny Anderson, wrapped up with the South player there, right on the edge of the 50 as the umpire in Johnny Ward from the Victorian panel, number 5. He'll flick the ball up, big pack around the play. Up early was Clark, it's Ryan who hit the ball. Dunn wheeled his way through the pack, under pressure the ball is spilled out. Hot potato, umpire John Ward says, holding the ball, Mr. Dunn. And let's hope they're consistent with that, because that was pretty well rapid fire, Dave.
Well, I thought he broke the first tackle, Milo, and then they got him on the second one, and he still managed to get rid of the ball. But hey, early in the game, the umpires are going to make decisions like that because they're just as nervous as what the players are as well. As Brent Howard now inside the 50, he's about 30 metres out on a slight angle, but the distance shouldn't be the problem as Howard comes in, and he's made no mistake of that. Brent Howard's kicked a beautiful 35-metre goal, courtesy of a free kick inside of 30, and South Gambia had the momentum right from the word go, and they currently have all the score on the board here at Vansittart Park. 1 goal, 1, and already you can see that influence of Mick Ryan punching that ball forward into open space, Milo, is going to hurt the east side.
Okay, 1-1 South 7 at the 2 minute mark of the first quarter as umpire Booth pushes that ball high again. It's Clark up, and he gets his hand to it this time, hits the deck there. Players throw themselves. Josh Ransom tries to get a quick out. Pushing through was the big fella there, and Ryan, who gets the ball to boot, goes forward, and it's number 1 for Eastern, Nick Anderson over the ball, ducks, dodges, no, play on, could have been a free kick, play on, says the umpire. Handball inboard by South Gambia. It's Heath Sims, he gets the handball over to the helmet of Mitchell, quickly onto the boot by South Gambia. Quinn, the coach of East Gambia there, bang, he thumps the ball down to the edge of the square. Larkham on a beautiful lead, takes a mark, tries to go inside on the left foot, back, away he goes. Umpire Booth says, calm down, son, go back, enjoy your first kick, and come over and kick over the mark. And it's Larkham with those white boots, and he'll go the big bang right into forward line. There's a bit of space there for Cook if he can get it down there. He goes short to Quinn, who just slips some 10-15 metres away and receives that kick. And Quinn, he's got the opportunity to go back to Larkham, but he's looking forward towards the teeth of goal. Over the G spot, which is the goal spot. Ball high, the backman will love this, and bang, Mick Ryan just punches it out of the defensive zone. Picked up by Dunn, quickly on the boot, back to Ryan, the general. He feeds a handball out to the running player there in Howard. Third touch once he kicks it, 2 bounces, away he goes. Had a quiet final series, could be his day, bombs it forward. Chest mark wasn't taken there by Watson under pressure. Out the back door, hot potato, ends up with Clark. He feeds a handball out to Nick Anderson. He tumbles the ball out towards the boundary line, where the East boys and the South boys will be happy to see it go over. In front of that scoreboard, South 1-1-7, East Gambia no score. South with the aid of a 4-6 goal breeze.
And Milo, they've given young Hamish Harris a very important role. He's got the ever dangerous Watson as the ball comes in. Clark over the top, tumps it to ground. South and the East boys hard at the ball there. It comes out towards young Cam Milling, slipping down from the half-back. He puts it to the goal square where Tommy O'Connor there and Kate will have a go at it. O'Connor leads, gets pushed off too easy. Comes out, well done by Kate, will cross the row. In there is East Gambia through Herbert, and now Joshy Ransom's in there as well. In goes young Hamish Harris, but the umpire's pulled another free kick out. Clumsy attack on the footy there by Matthew Herbert. He's just jumped clean into the back of, I think it might be Jason Rowe there, who'll get a free kick in the same spot as what Howard had a shot from about 5 minutes ago.
Pero, there's the matchup. I think they've got young Kane Ransom, your side east on Rowe.
Yeah, they've given away a couple of free kicks here, and they could be telling free kicks. But look, you can't really say anything against East, because I think their intensity around the ball is very good.
And this is the South copybook scenario. They get a jump, and then you've got to play catch-up footy. And as you can hear by those crowd noises, straight through the middle for the little redhead rover, Jason Rowe. 16 votes in the medal this year, so he's had a great season, and he's kicked the second goal for South Canberra as he hit the 6-minute mark. Hamish Harris coming off, and it's Aaron Clark back on the ground.
Ward will commence play right in the heart of Vansittart Park here, with South Canberra enjoying a 13-point lead. Once again, it'll be Clark and Ryan. Big Mick just gets in and uses that left hand. Sammy Clark jumped over the top. There's a scramble in the middle of the ground, and umpire Ward once again will come in and put the footy in the air to commence play. Jason Dunn gets up a little bit, holding his ankle there a bit, but it'll be Ryan and Clark. What's that big left hand? Clark gets in, Ryan hits it over the back. Joshy Ransom should collect here for East, does so. Turns on his right foot. Good tackle by South Canberra. Ball comes free. Paul Mullen now on the run, outside of 40 metres, and I think he's kicked a goal. Paul Mullen's out on the end of the ball, and I don't know what you think, you guys at the back there watching this. Mick Ryan's ability to hit the ball forward and East's inability to man up has cost him really 3 goals early in this game.
You've got to stop that free ball, boys.
Yeah, that's for sure. South are playing exactly to the game plan that they would have discussed before.
I kept an eye on him when the play moved away, and Clark's got the leap, but the body of Mick Ryan's done the trick in the ruck, as he'll do again. Clark up again, but it's Mick Ryan gets the ball down with that left hand, and it goes in the pack, splits out the pack, pushing, shoving there, the boys up. You'll have to blow it up, and the umpire has no option. Quinn down there, rubbing a knee, so let's hope he's all right. And the ball is back with umpire Ward, number 5 from the Victorian panel, and Quinn still hobbling there as umpire Ward will spin that ball high. Up it goes, up go the big guns, and it goes east way on this occasion. Coots got it, but he's swamped by the pressure cooker South boys there. The pack just moves some 5 metres. Plucking a free kick out there was umpire Ward, and it will go to another hobbling player in Jason Dunn, and I think he'll have to handball the ball out the back door, and it ends up with Herbert. He pumps the ball into the 50. Up they go. It's a chest mark there by Ryan Larkham. Kept his eye on the ball. Quinn's coming off, so Quinn in trouble. Jason Dunn in trouble. Watch the footy. Ball's pumped forward. Goes over the hands there and through for a point. First score, East Gambia, as Coach Quinn comes off, and it's Craig Todd on for East Gambia. His first A-grade game for some time, David Case.
Yes, Quinny looks like he's in a bit of trouble, and Jason Dunn also is limping a bit as they bring South Gambia, bring it in, and Cam Millick sprung free on the outer side of the ground, but I don't know whether he can beat it or not, and the umpire said it goes out untouched, at least 50 or 60 metres from East Gambia's goal, going into a good 4 or 5 goal breeze. Jason Dunn's out there, and I think he's a bit sore, but he'll bring the play back in, and South have already flooded back and left their forward 50 open. As Dunn comes in now, South have got back very quickly. Dunn's got no option but to go down the line. He goes down to where East big talls are, but standing in front, Mick Ryan, who's had an absolute huge influence on the game so far, as umpire Ward pays 50 metres towards Mick Ryan. Matthew Herbert, I would say, love tapped him and he fell over, and umpire Ward certainly paid the 50-metre penalty. And you've got to be careful in grand finals with that, Milo, because when you wear a number 5, you've got a better umpire up to it.
Yeah, a bit of experience there by Big Mick Ryan. I reckon he's given his knee a bit of a twinge there as well, coming in with a few ailments, the old fellow, one of the veterans, the oldest player on the ground, and the coach of South right in the guts feeds a handball wide there to a teammate there, and away they go. It's the South Gambia boys bombing the ball in the 50. Big pack, Rowe flies high over the back of the pack. Can they get the ball free? No, there was a free kick there. It will go to the BP, the quiet achiever, Kane Ransom with that long sleeve Guernsey. He feeds it out to Nick Anderson, a reigning best and fairest at East Gambia. He drives the ball down towards the win position to a one-on-one. Good mark there by East Gambia, and it's Fraser Scanlon, I reckon. Kelvin Cook down the ground, the captain.
Has had a fantastic final series too, Milo. He's taken a lot of marks.
One of those targets. Kelvin Cook's got the ball. He bombs it down towards the half-forward line. Another big pack as the ball comes off hands. Quickly on the boot and forward by White there for East Gambia. Got the run of the ball is crucial there. Over near the boundary line. He's tackled strongly by the South Gambia boy over there. And the ball goes over the boundary line. It's in the 50 into attack for East Gambia. The ball will spin back in. Ian Perriman, any other obvious matchups?
Young Ellis is an important player for East Gambia, Milo. He must whether he marks it or not, must make a contest for East Gambia in that area, because otherwise Mick will push back into that area, create a loose man, and push South forward.
And at this stage, South go into attack again through some good link-ups. Big fella Leroy Capel, and I tell you what, Milo, and I'll put the question to Keith and Perro later on, but they're skidding forward of the ball for South Gambia. They had about 6 or 7 handballs through the midfield, and if the East boys don't start to man up going against the Breeze, this game could be blowing out the water very early.
One-on-one footy, that's the way you have to beat South Gambia. They got the ball, they are the professional premiership team, as Leroy Cape will pass Western Border leading goal kicker and premiership coach. He's just slotted through his first goal, the big fella, and that takes South to 4-1, 25, leading East Gambia 1 point. So that's the 4 goals the Breeze is worth, so it's bonus footy from here on. If East can kick a goal or 2, it balances it up, but at this stage it's all South Gambia.
And East are playing in the South's hand, which we would have discussed before we went out on the oval. They've put a loose player back in defence, and that's panic mode.
Perro, what do you think of the East side at this stage, mate?
Well, they're just very, very hesitant, but I'd pull a rabbit out of the hat here and just start running a few bodies, because I think South are probably, in this respect, are just getting the kicks too easily, and to just make it a little bit more of a contest at the moment.
And as we talk, East have just done that from a kick out of the centre by Coote. That's the Martin version. Good afternoon to Johnny out there, who's more nervous than his son, the old Panola teammate. The ball has been speared forward to the go-to man. His 3rd possession, as we see Simon Quinn limbering up on the boundary line with that bit of a knee problem he came off with. Looks like it's Todd off and Quinn on. And Ryan Larkin well within his kicking distance. Perfect spot for the left foot, and a very important kick just to keep East Gambia in touch, keeping in mind that 4 to 6 goal advantage the Breeze is. In comes Ryan Larkin, very important kick, number 4. Reminds me of Royce Hart a bit, the way he kicks. Beautiful kick. Kicked it like Royce Hart. Straight through the middle. And the boy that played his junior football at South Gambia, ended up at East Gambia, has kicked the first goal for the Dogs. Step contrast to contrast.
Yep, and then they've just, I see they've taken Curdy off, but Quinny's got to be in the mix because he's such a wonderful player in and under. But good kick by Coote coming out of the centre, and a great kick by Larkham. Umpire Booth puts it up. Mick Ryan gets his left hand on it. Joshy Ransom gets it over to Stephen Coote. There's the big blonde fella. Well done, Matty Ellis. Hits the ball forward. South have numbers in there. Brent Howard's getting a lot of the footy. Gets a free kick. Umpire Ward will bring it back. And East Gambia just gave away a free kick there off the ball. And Brent Howard, who's had a lot of possessions early on in this quarter, he will take it once again. Brent Howard now, mate, right in the middle of the ground here at Banstead Park.
Right in the guts, David.
He will kick this ball long, there'll be no doubt about it. No, he decides to go and use it beautifully, and once again, South Gambia have players just running free.
You have to man up, David.
You've
got to make it a contest.
In the middle of the ground, he will try to push South forward, waiting, which is the patient game. Goes back now, drives the ball right down to where Capel and Co. Over the back comes Salmon. Couldn't get his hands on it. Heath Sims in there, flicks the ball back out. Heath Mitchell comes out. East Gambia clear it. No, they don't. Benny Anderson's down there. Players wrap themselves up. Kuchel's in there. Out goes East Gambia, gets it through the play. But a free kick's given to, I think it's Kelvin Cook there, by the way.
Big Sammy Clark, number 30, the big ruckman. You don't need ruckman, as Farmer used to say. And Sammy Clark's got it. Spears it out the boundary line. The South boys keep it alive over there. It goes inboard. East have got some numbers there. Herbert over the ball. Big Mick Ryan falls on him, and it was illegal. And he will have the opportunity to bring the ball out of that defensive position. He flicks a handball out to Nick Anderson, who's had a great final series. He pumps the ball into the middle of the ground, and second touch there to Reagan Clark, and he's got to get up in the midfield. He's one of the generated. The Breeze holds that ball up, but it's out in front of Kelvin Cook, the captain, and it's Rowe on his tail. But quick handball out to Kane Ransom, the tagger on Rowe today. Quick handball on to Jason Dunn. He wheels around, bombs that ball into the G spot. Up they go, pushing, shoving, punch down to Mick Ryan. Handball back there, well tackled by Stewart there. Onto the boot quickly by Reagan Clark into the G spot. Up they go. Good mark there by the big fella in Matty Ellis, former Western Border Premiership player in the under-18s and also medalist. And G reminds me of Max. I know it's a big call, but he reminds me of Max Jahinki, the way he plays, just his gait and the way he approaches the ball. Young Kuchel comes on, son of the farmer, Fraser Scanlon on, as Ellis just pumps the ball wide to Larkham. Was there a free kick there? There was a hold A hold on Peter Harton, who is the grand final specialist in previous years, and a free kick has gone to Ryan Larkham, who is on fire at the moment. He's hot, Perro, and you'd be pretty happy about the way Ryan Larkham started.
Yeah, I have, but I reckon just coincidentally, since we spoke, that I thought that East in the last 5 minutes have put genuine pressure on the player with the ball, and consequently South are not getting the easy ball and the easy turnovers as they were in the first 10 minutes. And East just may have taken 10 minutes to get into it, but I'm sure the signs now for East are a lot better.
East have to restrict the free ball from South Gambia. You have to stop those players that run forward by themselves, and I think Johnny Carl calls it cheating. And you've got to man them up. It's a hard part of footy. Away they go, and it's Ryan Larkham on that left foot that goes across the goal. Up they go, and Quinn's happy to flick the ball over the boundary line, which means it's still alive. But is there a free kick, or was it out on the full? Either way, it's going to go to South Gambia, so that's the important result for them. And South Gambia will bomb the ball down out of the 50. They go short to that free player again, and it is Cam Millick, who's had a great season, legs 11 on his back. There's running plays for him. East Gambia are manning up, which means he has to kick the ball up, which what it's all about. Make it a contest. Up they go. Good punch by Sammy Clark there to the boundary line, and everyone's happy to see the ball go out over the boundary line, right in front of the East coach box. As coming off for South Gambia, it's Summerfield, and going on is Hayden Knight for his first run. As the ball spins back in at the 17-minute mark, 25 South, 7 East on that scoreboard. It was a draw over the back in the ruck. Swooping on the ball there is Brent Howard. He gets a handball out, that loose player, and Dion Stratford. He bombs it forward. Pushing back there was Coote, dropped the ball he should have marked. Leroy Copeland tries to bulldog through the pack. He does force it forward. Over the ball there we have a Southie and a Eastie, but going nowhere. It's umpire Ward who'll come in right on the G-spot.
Now, Milo, you've been a ruckman for a long time. I don't want to be too critical, but I think Mick Ryan, if the umpires have got any courage, I believe he's stepping back in and shepherding first at the boundary line, not giving the players a chance to run at the footy. Good on him, he's going to get away with it, but Milo, I wouldn't like to be a ruckman too much, and maybe we'll talk to Perro at quarter time, but maybe would you have the third bloke up, and maybe that's something Easter got to consider at these boundary throw-ins. The ball's deep in South Gambia's forward line again. It comes out to Brent Howard, who has a shot on goal, and he's kicked another goal, I think, Milo, underneath the arms of Kelvin Cook. And
second goal.
Howard has kicked 2 goals from the centre, and he's just running free no matter where he goes. And maybe East might have put a little bit more respect on Brent Howard because he's knocking up getting possession. It's good work there by the South club. They run the ball forward very well from their throw-ins.
Ball back in the centre with umpire Mel Booth from the SA panel. Up it goes, and it's pushed down by Mick Ryan with that left hand. Tapped out by Mitchell over to Howard. He can't put a handle on it. Pulls the ball in. Look, he's good enough to get up and kick the ball. He's hot in the way today. Goes wide. Hot potato there for Anderson. Could have been holding the ball. Play on, says the umpire. The crowd wanted it. Never got it. Herbert's got the ball. He pumps it straight out to the boundary line where number 5 and Kuchel's got the ball, but he's dragged to the ground there with a great tackle by his South opponent. And that scoreboard tells us South off to a flyer for 4 to 6 goal breeze. 5-1-31. They've used it. East 1-1-7 as the ball spins back in. Up they go, and it's Clark up high, but he gets 2 hits at it, forces it forward over the ball. There's Reagan Clark. He overruns it. Back on it is Anderson. His handball was ricocheted off the hands there. Pushed over the boundary line by Stewart. He can't get a foot to it. Clark's got it. He's slung out of the play there. South get a quick handball out of the pack. Chain of handballs end up with Mick Ryan. Gee, they know about teaming, these boys, and so they should. They've been playing successfully together, and this is that experience we talk about. They know, David, that somebody will be there wide of the pack.
They just continue to do it, and they'll be doing it at the 30-minute mark of the last quarter. They just keep hitting the ball forward because they know they've got numbers there. Up they go. Sam Clark this time gets a run at the footy. Reagan Clark's in there as well. Players on top of the ball. The ball's in a dispute. Out it comes to Joshy Wilson. He's had a good. There's Paul Mull in front of the ball again. He comes down that far out of wing. Kicks the ball, and a free kick there against Josh Ransom. Just shoved him in the back after he got rid of the footy.
Shot for goal too, David.
Well, Milo, I don't know the decision there. It's a shot on goal 30 metres out. Sometimes you see umpires bring the ball back. Sometimes they get it forward. In this case, it was a downfield decision. And the player out there who'll take the shot on goal, Milo, is, I think it might be Heath Sibbs. It's a long way across there, but he will come inside the 30-metre mark. And
it's Leroy Capewell.
Is it Leroy? It is indeed, Milo. He comes in, has a shot on goal, and I think he's kicked at the goal. Umpire runs to one side of the the square, which we learned early on in the year as a point, and South Gambier go along to 5-2-33 to East Gambier 1-1-7. And what we must remember is that South Gambier kicking with maybe a 4 or 5 goal breeze.
Pero, you've got the hat on for East Gambier today. You're happy at this stage, or another goal?
Well, I mean, it's about where you'd think it was, but they wouldn't want to be out to 6 or 7 because, 6 or 7, whether you're going with that sort of breeze or not, is a long, long way to get back. But this next 5 or 8 minutes going into the end of this quarter is very important for East Gambier.
From that kick out, the ball has ended up in a ball up as Adam Salmon, one of the veterans, comes off, and on comes Copping, and he's the man to kick that quick goal. Up go the big guys, ends up with the thief Paul Mullen over his body. He kicks the ball forward, and there's a safe mark there by Captain Kelvin Cook. He was away, but Sean Watson cut off his opportunity there, so he's going to have to go for the safety of the boundary with the old faithful drop punt. Up it goes, big fly by Kushel there, couldn't take the mark. East had 2 up there, which is not really good, which probably highlights the enthusiasm of the young fella there. Ball comes back into the pack, and it's a draw as Quinn gets up, still hobbling a bit there, the East coach. Some 55 metres out from South go. Mick Ryan again punches the ball forward, the big bull. Tap forward, kick forward off the ground by Mullen, ends up in the hands of Kelvin Cook.
So the boys had some kicks.
Yeah, the thief, he stole a few touches. Over to Nick Anderson, under pressure, it ends up with Aaron Clark. He tumbles it towards the boundary line, cut off by Rowe there. He steadies himself, has a flying shot for goal. Ball fades with the breeze where it should have, and that's the 3rd point for South Gambier on the Summerfield's carpet court and window decor scoreboard. They've got that Gebhardt's footy, they've put it through the big sticks on 5 occasions. East Gambier only found the opening on 1.
Gee, Milo, South's on ball brigade and their down the spine group have been fantastic so far. They've really been up and about, and they're certainly putting the pressure on the East backs. Benny O'Dine brings it in just outside of 50. Sam Clark being held back there. The umpire didn't see it. Joshy Ransom gets on the end of the ball. Cam Mellick finds himself in the forward line. Onto that left boot, has a flying shot, and the umpire pats his heart. I don't know whether he's going to have a heart attack or what, Milo, but it's 1 point on the scoreboard.
Keith, you're looking after South. Cameron Mellick, normally a backman. Why has he been dragged down?
Kelvin Cook is down in East defence at the moment, and Cameron's done the correct thing in following him down.
That's a backman.
Milo, with Mick getting so many of these pushes forward, your wingers and your flankers are just so important to run hard at the oncoming player, because if you sit back and are caught in no man's land, they'll cut you up.
O'Dine from that kick out, number 25, finds the captain again, Kelvin Cook. He's here to play, leading from the front. He pumps it forward. Hart destroys it on this occasion. Picked up by South Gambier, walking through the pack there and just bombing it forward was Lee Peacock. There's free kick there, umpire to Nick Anderson. Play on, he says. I don't agree with you, Uncle Milo. Coughed up by Howard, goes wide. Here's a shot for goal from Sean Watson. It's high, but it's not handsome. It's through for a point. South Gambier 5-5-35. East Gambier 1-1-7. And that's on the Summerfield's carpet court and window decor scoreboard on my trusty Hua clock. 24 minutes, bit of time on to come.
Well, Milo, from what I can see so far, the balls, the difference between the two sides at this far is the ball's become a real honeypot for East. They've got 5 and 6 at it.
Yep.
But then what's happening from there is South are 1 in and 5 out, and they're just hitting the
David,
ball.
it's interesting. That's sometimes useful enthusiasm.
Yep.
I've called that over the years, and particularly this year with East. And for those listeners out there, what it means, and that's a Malcolm Blight saying, players all get sucked in and they rush to the ball or the player with the ball. The other team have a couple free, out it comes, and any mug can get the ball and away they go. But the umpire spins that ball in, and it's the Gebhardt's footy, and it just punched over the boundary line again by Mick Ryan. And he'd be happy to see this quarter out with the ball out there doing that, because it's South Gambier 35 to East 7. Goal kickers for South, Howard with 2, Rowe, Mullen and Capel with singles, and the only goal kicker for East is Ryan Larkham. Ball spins back in, it's pushed forward, ends up with the thief again, Paul Mullen. Another possession, he goes with the big bomb. He's happy, it doesn't matter, it's out of bounds on the floor, but it's got to come back again, and this suits South Gambier because the ball's still in their attacking zone. Hamish Harris comes back up from the room, so let's hope he can get back onto the park. As the ball ends up with Aaron Clark for East Gambier. He keeps the ball low sensibly, goes in front of the pack there, big fist by Mick Ryan coming through, ends up with Cameron Millick. He's taken off the ball by Coote. His kick goes up. Play on, says the umpire. Ends up with Herbert. He tumbles it towards the boundary line. Cook over the ball, loses possession. Nick Ryan over the ball. Was he pushed? Play on, says the umpire. Ball spills out over the boundary line. Gebhardt footy back with the boundary umpire, and that boundary umpire is Lester Wedding from the Victoria panel, and he will spin the ball back in, David Case.
And I want to pose the question to the boys here helping us out today. Can Mick Ryan ruck all day? That's the question we're going to see. He comes in against Sammy Clark, holds his body beautifully, comes out the back. East Gambier had the numbers. Nick Anderson couldn't get hold of it. South Gambier in there holding the ball, and well done by Aaron Clark. He springs the ball free. Matty Ellis is in there. East Gambier tackle well done there by the boys in the forward line. Matty Ellis is in there hard. There goes young Stewart. He can't get rid of the ball. Comes out to Josh Ransom. He's had one of his few kicks. Good kick. Can he run past Millie? If he gets onto it, young Stewart. Ball pushed forward here into East forward line. Out comes Cam Millie. Great tackle there by Jason Dunn. South Josh Wilson. Players front of the ball again, Milo. As Dan Stratford steps down through the middle. Goes in towards Capewell. Kelvin Cook. He has been sensational
this quarter. David. He's come to play.
Being the captain of the side, he has certainly come to play.
It's been reversed to Lee Capewell.
Who was the offender there?
Didn't see Milo. It was a push out in the pack, he reckons.
So one of the East teammates has let his captain down badly.
Well, Milo, I don't know where. Look, honestly, like it was a straight out mark. There was nothing. Capewell didn't even go to the ground.
Well,
and, I don't know what you think, but gee, we're talking about a grand final.
We've seen
got a bloody under 16
coming in is Leroy Capewell, and he's got the ball, and that's what matters. And
yes.
He kicks his second goal, waiting on the goal umpire. Yes. And that's South Gambier's sixth goal. And umpire John Ward, that's how he umpires. I've noticed him all year, and he reacts. And I know, just memory-wise, I'm pretty sure he was the umpire that reported Paddy O'Donnell that cost him a medal. That's life. He's in charge. He makes the decision. He's all gone.
Fair call, mate.
On with the game. Ball ends up with umpire Mel Booth, and up it goes high, and it's Scotty Ward back in to have a go at Mick Ryan. Good heavy bump, sees Todd fly out of the pack. Wrapped up there was Coote by Trent Millick, and he's come to play today as well, and the South boys are up in the back. They look at that scoreboard. 41-7, so what a start for South. Up they go, hit down by Howard. He pummels the ball forward, ends up with Kane Ransom. Hot potato taken off him by Rowe. He pushes the ball forward, ends up with Nick Anderson. Pretty under pressure, but stood up Nick Anderson. He tumbles the ball towards the boundary line, coming through there like a steam tray for South Gambier was the player in Baden Knight. He's still got the ball, dodging, darting, gets on it, gets it onto the left boot, tumbles it forward. Aaron Clark couldn't take the mark. East boys bump into each other. It's Capewell's got it. He coughs it up. Holding the ball. Leroy appeals for it. He said, you gave me an easy kick before. Umpire Ward, give me another one. He said, I can't give you everyone, Leroy. And it ends up with Ben O'Dine, number 25. Shocking kick by him, puts his teammates under pressure. But it's Herbert who's got it. He flicks a handball out to Quinn who can't run. He's in trouble. So better off the ground. Goes inboard to Howard. He's on the end of that chain of handballs. He punts the ball wide, looking for a loose player, but coming out there it's Aaron Clark, and he's been a good contributor since coming on. Good shepherd there by his teammate. He tumbles the ball down towards the wing position, swooping on it's there Todd. He gets on his left foot and thumps the ball down towards the half-forward line. Up there they go, and the big strong mark from Peter Harton, former leading goal kicker in Western Border.
Bread and butter for
Harton. Also interleague player, league footballer at Sturt, and he's a great footballer down here in Western Border. He thumps the ball down towards the half-forward line. Not giving the ball up there was Ben O'Dine, and he's happy to see it go over the boundary line as we hit the 29-minute mark.
Ball's thrown in now in front of the scoreboard here, right in the heart of the last quarter, and Hooker, you've picked something up there.
No, you're right. I just said if they continue to pump the ball out, Harton will love it.
Yep. Up goes Scotty Ward. I reckon he's done a pretty good job against Mick Ryan because he's got the bulk to go with him. Through comes Scotty Ward. Well done. South Gambier in and under there. Josh Ransom's got a chance. Tackled by Rowe. Ball springs free. Nick Anderson, who's had a good quarter, is in and underneath the bottom of the pack there. And well, Milo, from where I see, East back six have been superb this quarter. They certainly have been fantastic, and none better than Kelvin Cook when he's dropped back there. Benny O'Dine, Tommy O'Connor, Aaron Clark, Kane Ransom, they've all done their work. Nick Anderson, Ryan taps it over the back. This time East have numbers back there. Ball's in the pack, in dispute again. Comes out to Paul Mullen, but umpire Ward has found a free kick. And it will go to
He's plucked one again,
mate, out of the pack, and it'll go to Scotty Ward. Scotty Ward now, he's come on to replace Sammy Clark. The young lad comes down that grandstand side, wing side, and there's Fraser Scanlon. Poor old Philly be very happy. Fraser goes onto that favoured left leg. Larkin pushed him out. Umpire Mel Booth was right on the scene. and gave the free kick accordingly. As another change for East with Scotty Ward off and Sammy Clark on.
Paul Mullen, because he's sick of getting possessions off, and the young gun Josh Stark, the youngest player on the ground, he comes on for his first run. That kick is bombed down towards the half-forward line where there's bodies just throwing themselves in their desperation footy. East Gambia lock it in, and right in front of that big scoreboard. South Gambia 6-5-41, East 1-1-7. That's the Summerfields Carpet Court and Window Decor scoreboard. As umpire Ward inside a big pack spins the ball high, punched down by Clark, quick kick forward by East Gambia, punched down there by the South defence. Hot potato coming through there at South Gambia. Couldn't get boot to ball and a lot of pressure on. Quinn over the ball, should get a high tackle there. I could see it, and umpire Booth could see it. So the coach for East Gambia, who hobbles back to his mark to take this kick. Opportunity to kick a very important goal for East Gambia if you can get it down there, because another goal would probably just balance it up nicely. Kicked in long by Quinn as the ball does hold up into that breeze. Up they go with their hands there. Yeah. South hands.
And Hooker picked it,
He picked it. Peter Hart.
They set it up there.
The big beacon back there, the big professional backman there. And Peter Hartman, former best and fairest in grand finals. He'll just pick out the little chip pass over there, just outside the G spot there to Brent Howard. And Brent Howard, he'll thump the ball down towards the G spot for South Gambia. Pushed there by Leroy Capewell, umpire, and he pays the free kick, and it will go to East Gambia player there in again, Coach Quinn, and that's where his value is using his body. Quinn, he kicks the ball out in front of Dunn, who's wrapped up by the South Gambia boys, and the siren will beat everybody, and that's all over for the first quarter. Very, very fruitful first quarter for South Gambia. All went to plan. We've seen it so often before. They get the jump, and then it's catch-up footy for their opponent. The breeze was worth 4-6. Well, South got maximum use. All their guns are firing, and that's when you want your champion footballers in the pressure cooker grand final. Ball is back with umpire Booth, and he will commence the second quarter, and this is it for East Gambia. This is where it all ends and starts, and up they go as the ball's pushed down, and the players, gee, there's a bit of the old biffo in there, and the umpire says there was a high tackle, and it's going to go to South Gambia and to one of the young guns in Josh Wilson.
Had a bit of the footy, Milo.
Yes, and he flicks the ball out to one of the senior veterans and great players at South Gambia, Heath Sims, and his kick is punched towards the boundary line. Run of the ball is Josh Stark, and he sees the ball go over the boundary line. Just outside the 50, and just in front of the canteen here at the neck of Anstart Park, and umpire Simon Wilson hadn't got the coloured hair this year, so I find it hard to pick him. He spins the ball back in, up they go, forced down, gathered up by Herbert there. Swooping on it is Brent Howard. He checks himself, kicks the ball over his body, centres it to the G spot. Ooh, mark dropped there by Watson. Was that a sign for East Gambia? It's, the pressure's on. Swooping on it is Rowan. He has a free shot for goal. Flying kick, ball holds up and fades. Did he score? Umpire McLaughlin says no, and that was big Bruce McLaughlin, and the ball will be in the hands of Jason Dunn, the everywhere man, and he decides to go inboard. Kick has to be right, and it's a good safe hands of Nick Anderson, number one, and he's been a good contributor. He runs out of the 50 for East Gambia, thumps the ball down towards the wing position in front of Reagan Clark, one-on-one with Daniel Stratford there, gathered in nicely by Reagan Clark, kicked up high under the ball there, showing courage with Adam Salmon. Silly attack on the
hang on now, Milo. The second player's got involved.
Yeah, but it's what the umpire sees, David. Yeah. It's what the umpire sees, and there was a reserve umpire. It's on here. Umpire Booth is going to bring Salmon up to the 50 and perhaps just into the 50 as the boys waste a bit of energy. So silly by East Gambia there. You know the umpires are going to be like this. Who said you need brains to play footy? And it's Salmon with the ball, and he's going to play footy, and he's 5 metres into the 50, and he pumps the ball in with a nice kick that just sits up nicely. A lot of bodies there. East Gambia go pushing, shoving there, but it was a tackle on an East player there, and it's going to be either Sam Clark or the recipient will be Benny O'Dine, the full-back, and he has the ball in his hands, and he'll have the opportunity right in the teeth of goal of relieving the pressure for East Gambia. And he's a bit undecided because South are disciplined on this occasion, and they are manning up. He pumps the ball high down into the square, big pack up there, pushing, shoving. Pushed forward by Reagan Clark. He's hurt himself there. Ball goes back into the pack. Swamped there, the players there. Reagan Clark comes away from the pack, so keep an eye on him.
He got cleaned up by his own player, Milo.
Craig Todd got him.
That's that enthusiasm that goes a bit haywire, I suppose. And the ball is with umpire Ward right in the middle of the ground here at the Mecca. He spins the ball high, and it is Clark that gets it down. He has to do his own roving, but it's Howard again. He flicks a handball out to Stark, who had the ball on his boot before he had it. Kicked off the ground by Herbert. He has to beat 3 South players. Makes a good contest there. Throwing themselves on the ball there with the South boys, and they're happy to see it become a ball up. Just on the edge of the square, pushing out towards the wing position.
I'll tell you what, Milo.
Ball.
Yep.
Ball, the boys cry.
Every thrown up here by umpire Ward as Josh Stark has come on the ground and already had an impact on the game. We go back a few weeks ago at East when he kicked 4 goals. Ryan with that left hand comes out to Todd. Adam Salmon's in there for South Gambier. Gets around the play, gets it free. There they are again, running forward the ball. Jake Somerville now gets the ball inside of 50. Out comes Benny O'Dine. He was grabbed too high. Umpire didn't see it. O'Connor's got it. Gets rid of it. Now it comes out here to East Gambier through Kane Ransom. Tommy O'Connor, the great fullback, kicks it down towards Kushel. He hasn't had much input. Josh Wilson does a great job. He's been held by the neck. Free kick umpire Ward. He's going to put the whistle away. Comes out to 7. Forward again is Brent Howard. He has not got a player anywhere near him. Umpire plays advantage. It was called throwing the ball. Comes out to Capel. O'Connor over the back, but Capel too strong. Great mark in front. Just use his bit. Plays on now. Umpire calls him play on. Herbert has a shot, but he's kicked it. Capel has kicked that goal, I think, Milo.
We reckon it's a goal, but no.
Umpire Bruce McLaughlin blown up.
We would have given it to you, Leroy. We would have given it to you.
But umpire McLaughlin, the first thing he's done all right all year, mate, the big fella down now, though he's slimmed down a bit off the pies and pasties, I reckon, now, and perhaps back into the past.
And South Gambier know the importance of this quarter, Keith, because they know they can put East Gambier to sleep in this quarter.
They certainly can, and they're playing that same style of football they've been renowned for. Milo, look, exactly what you're saying. They push forward of the ball, and South just handball it forward and get it every time.
It's a good kick out, but it ends up with the South boys, but pushed forward there by a very determined Todd, but an equally determined South player comes through there. Pushed forward again by Cameron Millick. Ends up with Mick Ryan. He feeds a handball wide. Pushed back towards East Gambier by the player there in Crucial. Chain of handballs end up with Stark. He thumps the ball in. Sammy Clark gets his hand up and was pushed. Play on, advantage goes to another Clark, the Aaron version. He pumps the ball down towards the half-forward line. She kept that elbow down, Matty Ellis. Racing for the free ball there is Jason Dunn and Cameron Millick. Cameron Millick is the backman. He'd be happy to see the ball go out. The East boys want to deliver it, but that was last Sunday. No go today.
Well, Milo, I just want you to have a look, and I particularly want to ask Perro about this. I'm sure that Jason Dunn's only running on about 60%. Simon Quinn's both the same. There's those two and Toddy in the midfield. I think East might just need to make a few decisions in there. We've had Josh Ransom hasn't been in the play yet. He's been well and truly held, but South's just running ability at this stage is just hurting East Gambier. As they come in through half forward here, Matthew Herbert's in front. Young Stark, well disciplined by the young man, punched it forward. Kane Ransom, Sam Clark goes and gets his own footy. He's swamped by the South blokes. They come in all over the top of him, Milo, but umpire Booth deems it to be a throw up right in the middle of the ground. East is certainly under the pump here at the moment, but their back line are doing a wonderful job. None better than young Kane Ransom on road. Clark gets it up. South got the numbers forward again. Out it comes, Josh Ransom. Gee, they're hot on him. Cootie, who's been a good player, gets it down forward towards Ellis, and that was Millick there. Ellis gets the ball out. He's well tackled. Comes to Dunny. He's got no power on his legs, so out comes Millick in the... I think it's
plucked another one. And it's that umpire again, number 5. He's plucked one.
Yeah, Milo, just seems to pull him out of the pack, doesn't he? As Jason Dunn now will have a shot on goal. Right on the 50-metre curve line, Jason Dunn. Can he kick this ball? Because I believe he's only 40% fit as Paul Mullen comes on and young Stark comes off. Dunny sets it up beautifully in the goal square. South got the big numbers back. Ellis, no one front and centre. It's Larkham in there hard. Reagan Clark, well fought. Comes out to Benny Anderson. Players forward again. Daniel Stratford comes down the line towards the boundary line. In there's young Adam Stewart. Can he get under that electrifying foot? He did it last week. Well tackled, South Gambier. Out comes
that was Jake Summerfield with that terrific tackle.
Gee, Milo,
great tackle.
Yep,
that's a team lifter, that one.
And umpire stood there and watched it for a while as the ball comes out into Jake Somerville. Up in the air there is Big Peacock. He can't get it. Comes out to South down. They get the ball forward up towards Benny Anderson. Well done. Over the back, Paul Mullen. Players running free towards the goal square. Comes out to Watson. Well done, Aaron Clark. Good pick-up. Paul Mullen in there again. Sammy Clark, the big fella. And he's working out through Aaron Clark. They get it out to Simon Quinn. He's got to get it on quickly. He can't afford to muck around with the ball. He does so now. Gets it inside of foot. Larkham's on his own.
Bang.
And takes it 30 metres out from inside. Peter Harton fell to the ground there, and I presume that Perro and Hooker had a look at that. Anything in that, boys?
He's got the moulded soles on, Case.
Yep.
Not at all, mate. It was a good kick by Quinn, and look, East still aren't out of this game, I tell you. I mean, 3 quick goals with this howling gale, can they be right back in it?
Yep.
It's all about kicking goals, and the tempo is hectic, and both sides are just throwing their bodies in. South know this is the quarter for them, and likewise East. They've got to get back in the game because that nervous energy is taking a lot out of the legs, but the ball is in the hands of Ryan Larkham, the sole goal kicker for East Gambia, and he's some 47 metres out on a slight angle. In he comes with those white boots, very deliberate. Breeze right behind him, over the ball, looks good off the boot. Is it pulled across? I think it has, so it'll only be one finger from umpire Jeff Broadwood down there. That takes East Gambia on that Summerfield's carpet court and window decor scoreboard to 128, and that's South Gambia 6-6-42.
Right, where can you see the goals coming for East as Daniel Stratford kicked it up, only 30 metres or so. Players get in front, punch forward by East Gambia. Stewart's down there, but he's not doing enough under my opinion. Should be in and under better. Comes out to South Reliever. Comes to Joshy Ransom. He's got to get into it. He's too good a player to be down this long. He gets on top of the ball, runs around that left foot, kicks over his left shoulder, and I think Larkham might mark this. And he does. Well done there by the little blonde bombshell. Got around onto his left foot and forced the ball in. Larkham handballs over the top, but the umpire's got nothing to do with it.
Because Larkham knows for a left footer, Perro is in the absolute wrong spot, isn't he?
Oh, well, he's an adept goal scorer, this lad. You wouldn't put it past him.
Okay, missed the easier opportunity, but he's got the ball now, and I suppose the breeze is sort of coming across that way, so if he just sets it up a little bit, it might just carry through. And typically Nick Ryan just stands in the middle of the goals there, and very important kickers. Every kick for goal for East Gambia this quarter is going to be, because they trail 42-8 at the 10-minute mark. In comes Larkin over the ball. I think he's pulled this one across as well. Did he score? Yes, he did score. It's the 3rd point for East Gambia. East go to 1-3-9, trailing South 6-6-42 on the Summerfield's carpet court and window decor scoreboard, and the boys are chasing that Gebhardt's footy, and it's going to end up in the hands of Daniel Stratford. Number 23 missed a lot of footy with that knee injury, and he's back to his very best this season. He goes wide to the quick lead there by one of the specialists, the man, and he's Sims. He's away, the 5C Best Player Award this year. He kicks the ball down towards the wing position, just sets the ball up nicely for Cam Millick, and on the true wing position, and Sammy Clark on the mark there, and if he's on the ball, that's not on for a ruckman. He kicks the ball down towards the half-forward line. Up they go, over the back, the mark of the day so far. Gee, Jake Summerfield, and he's away, number 49, with that left foot, and he pumps the ball down towards the G spot, and standing firm, showing the courage, number 5 for East Gambia, Justin Kushel, and he's one of those players, David, you asked about kicking goals. They've got to wheel him into the forward line, because he's that player that can perhaps pick a couple of goals up for East Gambia, but he's saving them on this occasion, just inside the 50, and young Kushel indicates he's going to go long. He goes the big bomb down towards the wing position, and pushing and shoving there sees Trent Millick take a very easy mark. Going to handball to his brother, but he didn't worry about it.
Once again, Mick Ryan shepherding in the packs and not being...
He's not shepherding unless the umpires call it. Exactly. So away they go, and the Millick boys do share it, and Cameron ends up with it. He tumbles it forward, and Sammy Clark sits in the right spot because the ball does hold up, and he takes a safe mark. Beckoning for a handball out the back door is Aaron Clark, but Sammy Clark says, I'm going to go the big bomb. He thumps it down over the wing where the South boys spoil each other there. Anderson flicks it out over the ball. There it is, Josh Ransom. He's wrapped up. Ferocious tackling by South today. Throwing himself on the ball there was the boy in Herbert. The ball is pushed over the boundary line. The big pack will regather as Coach Quinn stirs his charges. He knows the importance of the last 12-15 minutes of this quarter, as the ball will be spun back in by umpire Simon Wilson. Up they go, and it's Mick Ryan puts that big backside out. He flicks it over the back. Ball spills free to Jason Dunn, number 42. He bombs it into the 50. Leading for the ball is Larkham. The bounce eludes him. Swooping back on the ball. Well done by Larkham. Also Daniel Stratford. He pushes the ball towards the boundary line. Keeping the ball alive there is the player there in Reagan Clark. Umpire Booth says, no, you can't get it out. I'm going to come over and recommence play.
Ball will be thrown in deep in East Gambia's forward
13-minute mark.
As the umpire throws the ball back in here, and Mick Ryan goes at it with, looks like it's bigger Matthew Ellis. He's got to get involved in the game more, Matty. We at least need a bit more out of him. He just hasn't really had the opportunities most probably, but they certainly need another forward. And a lot of the forwards of East Gambia have been down at this stage, but no doubt there's a long way to go in the game. The ball comes back in again. It's Ryan and Ellis. Ryan pushes in. Over the top comes that Springer in Kelvin Cook. Umpire Mel Booth seen it to be a free kick. It comes out. South get the run of the ball. Over the top of his neck again there by the East player. But yes,
he said he ducked.
He said he ducked, and he was a lot closer than what we were. Once again, the ball outside of 50 for East Gambia. Right here in the on the heart of Mount Gambier at Vansittart Park. He brings it back in. Ryan and Cook. Ryan with that left hand gets it over the top again. It goes forward for East Gambia. Jason Dunn's in there. Can't get hold of it. Jason Rowe gets the first touch on Kane Ransom. Goes deep down that side. Sammy Clark's back. Courage by Sammy Clark. He steps back into the pack. Nick Anderson, perhaps East Gambia's best player, and is beautifully smothered there by Salmon there. He just thumped the ball over the boundary line. And South Gambia inside of 50. Once again, and East Gambia so far have not rattled that scoreboard in the goals division this quarter.
In the danger zone, the ball has just been flicked over the fence there to just make it a bit more difficult. But there, the umpire's got it. He flicks it back in. Up they go, and it's Peacock who double hands the ball down towards the boundary line. It's in the danger zone. It's in the 50 for South Gambia.
Umpire will throw it back in again, Milo. We're inside of 50.
Fraser Scanlon on, yep. Reagan Clark off.
As the ball comes back into play now here, East Gambia will need to get something going as the South boys are up and going here at Vansittart Park. In it comes. Once again, Peacock in there. Over the top comes Coote. Mullins out the back. I reckon Paul Mullins had a heap of kicks. Comes out to Howard. He sees beginning on his own. Benny O'Dine gets in. Here's a chance. Well done there by Tommy O'Connor. Aaron Clark on Watson's done a good job. The boy wasn't tackled. And umpire Ward was in the right position. And Aaron Clark will take the free kick right deep here in East Gambia's defence. Aaron Clark comes down the line. Oh, Watson stepped over the mark there, I reckon, but umpire didn't see it. Matthew Ellis, great mark, hits his head on the ground, Milo, and that will take a bit of sting out of the big fella. And I called for him 3 or 4 minutes ago there. They had to get involved, and here he is. Matthew Ellis, deep in defence, will kick the ball now down.
And he will on that left foot, and he bombs the ball down over the wing position. Up they go, and it's a good, strong mark by the general there and Coach Mick Ryan. He just tells the boys just to steady down. I haven't had many kicks, I'm going to take this one. And he goes wide and finds his former Western Border medalist in Brent Howard. The boys are waxing, building up the stats, the South boys. So this is the signs, and it's big Mick Ryan's got the ball again. He's only moved up some 5 metres from where he was before. He goes inboard. He's going to share the ball around, and he gives the ball over there to Colley, I think it is. It's Jared Colley. So sharing it around the South boys, and he's right in the middle of the ground there with Ryan Larkham on the mark. Checks his options, and he's going to go wide now. The ball sits up. It hasn't gone too far out of the square as it's punched down over the ball there. Swooping on it's Josh Wilson. He flicks a handball out to Rowe. He goes to that free player in Howard. He tries to fend off a tackle. Perhaps should have been pinged, but the umpire gives him the benefit of the doubt. East boys spoil each other. Josh Ransom's got it. He's hit with quite a few bodies there. Coming through there, ending up with it is Josh Wilson. He kicks the ball deep into the 50. Free kick. He's going to bring the ball back, umpire Booth. Who's it going to go to? It penalised South on this occasion, and it was a free kick from where the handball came from. So instant replay, and it'll go back to Josh Wilson. Still eligible for under 18s, Josh, and he has the opportunity to pump South into the 50, and he does just that. Thumps the ball in, big pack up there, up they go. Ball pushed down there. It's Sammy Clark. The ball tumbles out the back door, ends up with the backman in O'Connor, who goes to the boundary. It's helped that way by Watson. He's wrapped up by Nick Anderson, and umpire Johnny Ward, number 5 from the Victorian panel, will come in and recommence play at the 17-minute mark of the second quarter.
Up they go, Sam Clark and Lee Peacock. The big bloke in Peacock gets his hand, and Heath Mitchell comes out, and the ball is handballed over the boundary line, and I know delivered. Umpire Ward indicates that that's delivered. Pero, I want to put a question to you. Who's going to stop Howard, or who's going to pick him up?
Well, look,
Dunny comes in now, he kicks the ball deep down the line, comes down towards where Big Mick Ryan. Whitey's up there for East Gambia, punches the ball over.
Pero, answer that question.
South of East are in a bit of difficult because I reckon they've got 4 blokes that are not fit out there.
Yeah.
I reckon their captain coach,
Yep.
young Stewart, that's just gone off, is not fit.
Yep.
Number 42, Jason Dunn,
Yep.
and there's another, and young Clark out there too. I think there's 4 boys out there that are probably not 100% fit. And in the grand final, you're not going to be able to run. You're not going to be able to do the things that you want to do if you're not 100%
So
fit.
the question all year with Eastern, I've got to be honest, has been player management, and that's a perfect example on it. Should only be the fit guys on unless they can do a job in a pocket, perhaps a forward pocket. Quinn's got it, he can't run, he just pops the ball out in front of him. He pushes himself back in the pack. There was a infringement there, and it goes to the one with the helmet from MPAC. And that's Heath Mitchell, and he bombs the ball into the 50 where Capewell stands rigid. He sees it come off hands, ends up with Howard. That man, he checks himself, has a look at the goals, and helps himself to goal number 3. Well done, Brent Howard, and he takes South Gambia to 7-6-48, and that's on the Summerfields Carpet Court and Window Decor scoreboard. East Gambia in a spot above her, 1-3-9.
Well, Milo, I don't know, Brent Howard, I don't know what he done, but he must have won the lottery overnight because he hasn't had an opponent within 30 metres of him all day. He's just run free, picked up kicks wherever he's wanted to, and they've closed Jason Dunn down, row down, but they haven't. Howard Clark gets up there against Big Mick Ryan. The ball's just put in the middle there. And one thing that really is impressed here, I've been impressed all year with these tackling, but today South tackling and harassing has been fantastic. Hooker?
Yes, and also you're right in what you're saying. East have not paid any respect to their on-balls against their opposition, and that's why Howard got out by himself.
As we talk, Joshy Ransom does pump the ball out of that centre bounce, and the chain of handballs ends up with Daniel Stratford. He goes wide to the beckoning body of Jason Rowe, but he's happy to see the ball tumble over the boundary line, and as you said, well done the job Kane Ransom's done on him. Very disciplined, son. I know the old fella would be proud of you. The ball will be spun back in by Simon Wilson as the pack moves into position. It's Big Mick Ryan versus the younger gun, but it's Mick Ryan who beats Ellis on that occasion and just thumps the ball towards the boundary line, and the big fella, he gets in the heat and he stays there, and he's going to lead from the front. And if you do that as a coach, you can ask your players to do the same thing, and Mick Ryan's done that, and that's why South sit 48 to East Gambia 9. Up they go, and it's Mick Ryan again punching the ball towards the boundary line where it's Rose swooping on it. He gets the coverage from his teammates. 1 bounce, 2 bounce, kicks the ball deep into the attacking area. Up they go, up Capewell, sport by O'Connor. The ball spills out the back of the pack. Free possession, Leroy Capewell. He gets a handball over the top there to a teammate who's pushed towards the boundary line. Going nowhere, but the ball once again quickly into the attacking zone for South Gambia as we hit the 21-minute mark on my clock. And I was just remiss before we first came back in at the 17-minute mark in the big AFL. West Coast 1-1-7, the Crows 2-1-13, Crows with the breeze.
As the ball throws back in, Nick Anderson and Adam Salmon there at a stalemate as the ball will be thrown up once again by umpire Ward. As South Gambia are up and about here at Dandenong Park. 7-6-48, East 1-3-9. Clark and Big Lee Peacock, he hits it over the back because he knows that's where they'll be. Benny O'Dine runs hard and straight at the footy. Tackling there by Craig Todd. Aaron Clark comes out. Kane Ransom underneath the ball. And a free kick for a trip, but well picked up there, Molly. He should have been an umpire. Old Ruckman should have been umpires because they got no clue. There comes young Kane Ransom out towards his cousin in Josh. Good boy there, spoiled by South Gambia, but the free kick, or I think it's coming back here to East Gambia. I don't know what's going on here, but...
why not a 50 with what Leroy Capewell was doing there?
Well, that's exactly right, Milo, but umpires didn't see it. Umpire Ward with his back down.
Can only call what they see, David.
Of course they can, mate. The boundary umpire comes in and confers a bit of confusion with the umpires here as the ball comes down the ground, and young Kushel, he's got into the ball here. He reels it round his right foot. Simon Quinn, he can't run, Milo. He just cannot run. Ball turns it over, comes out here to Nick Anderson, in towards Matthew White. He spoils. Mick Ryan, sensational stuff out here. South Gambia clear through Goodrich, but Jason Dunn's on the even. Who's he got in front of him? Dunn there comes down this far wing. Young Clark, Regan Clark, good work. Gets it out to Fraser Scanlon. Can he pick it up, the young boy? He's in over the ball. Regan Clark again, good job. He's been held without it. Kane Ransom's in there. Paul Mullins puts it forward, and guess what? Daniel Stratford in front of the ball, drives it forward. But Sammy Clark dropping back into that hole. He comes out now towards the scoreboard side, and Kane Ransom sprung free on Jason Rowe. Ransom there, what's he got in front of him? He comes down the line. He's just pummeling in there, hoping someone's going to take a mark. Jason Dunn, he's not overfit, but comes to Craig Todd, the strongman. How he handballs out. Ryan South Gambia forward of the ball again as they clear through that half-back line. Comes into the middle of the ground, Aaron Clark. Sensational stuff. Just threw his body in front of the ball, and he has won the free kick. Maybe Milo, he's one they can push up in the middle of the ground.
Well, basically, East have to get their fittest and youngest players in the action, and that's the only way they're going to get back into this game as he thumps it forward. Ryan Larkin got the slip and dropped instead of a chest mark he'd normally take. That allows Harton to mop up. He thumps the ball down towards the wing position where a good bounce favours. Great hit there by, fair hit by Todd, puts Adam Salmon to sleep right in front of us, and gee, did he go down. And just keep you cool there, everybody. Umpires in there. It was a perfectly fair bump. Both players met each other, and it was the player in Salmon. Todd's pretty sore as well. He's got up a bit groggy as well. His teammates and the trainer around him as we have a lull in play here. But Pero, East Gambia, you've highlighted it. We have on a number of occasions. There's a few players out there who've got no legs. They've got to get the kids in the action.
Well, that's exactly right. I think with their coach, Milo, I mean, he can run, but he can't turn.
Forward pocket?
Yeah, well, certainly as a leader, he's an outstanding leader, and probably there's a spot there for him, and perhaps in the forward pocket.
Forward pocket up the ground.
Somewhere like that. But I really think Simon's struggling to turn, and that tells me that he's got a major knee injury. But certainly there's 4 or 5 boys out there that aren't spot on. Nasty.
Todd coming off, he's not real good, and Adam Salmon's worse. He's still on the ground there, and let's hope he's okay. And nobody likes to see a player hurt in our great game. Good news, Adam Salmon's up and off the ground, and it is. Pero, you're a genius. There is 5 minutes official time to go. That's 27 on my clock. Wilson spins it back in. Punch forward once again by Mick Ryan, who is the generator. He is the general. Gee, steady on there. But this is the situation where some players do go a bit silly. There may be a feeling a bit of evening up, but really that's not needed because it was a fair bump. And the umpires will gain control, and they'll look for that very technical free kick if things do get a bit heated. Up they go, and Mick Ryan's happy to see it go over the back. Swooping on the ball is Jennings, that eludes him, and Sims takes his place. He feeds a blind handball out to Sammy Clark. He pumps it forward over the ball there. Wrapped up was young Justin Kushel, and he's starting to get into the game. But it's been the household traditional names for East Gambia. Sammy Clark and Kane Ransom have been good contributors at this stage. Up they go, and it's Clark once again with that lion heart. He flicks it down to Jake Somerville. He tumbles the ball forward. Should have been a free kick there to Heath Mitchell. It will be paid because his Guernsey was grabbed, and the helmeted one for Impact Holmes. He's got the ball, and he'll thump that ball over the G spot, and that is the goal spot. It does hold up. Perched under it was Sammy Clark. Could have been paid the mark, but play on, says the umpire. Flicked out the back, ends up with Herbert. He's under pressure, but he was taken high, and in the true centre half forward position, he will have the opportunity to relieve pressure and deny South Gambia another opportunity to goal. As the gentleman Leroy Capel just hands that ball over, and of course it wastes a bit of time, the old stager. He thumps the ball forward. Good mark there by Matty Ellis, who's got to force his way back into this game. He thumps the ball quickly forward on that left foot, over the back of the pack. It tumbles towards the goal line. It finds the point line. Umpire thumps himself. East Gambia 1-4-10, trail South 7-6-48, and that's on the Summerfields Carpet Court and Window Decor scoreboard, and even the scoreboard are against East Gambia because they're going to put that point up to South Gambia David Case.
Ball's kicked back in now by Daniel Stratford. He just goes short, chipped it into Paul Mullen, who's just sprung free on his own. Mullen now tears away inside of the East forward 50, kicks the ball down the ground. Kelvin does Fraser Scanlon, and he's run too far, Milo.
Oh, that's the second time.
I reckon that's
well chased, young farmer.
Young farmer, and he will have a shot.
Have a shot, Fraz, on the left foot.
Yes, and should have a chance, Milo.
And he knows what pressure cooker goals are all about because he kicked that winning goal against North Gambia a number of weeks ago over at the Kennel, and his first positive possession. Very tight angle, some 45, 46 metres out, and with the long sleeve Guernsey and the white boots, the boy from down on the farm, Fraser Scanlon, son of the farmer. In he comes over the ball. Beautiful kick off the boot. Looks good.
Yeah,
I tell you what, Scotty Ward likes it, and the goal umpire does as well. Well done under pressure, Fraser Scanlon. Your first goal. East Gambia's second. East Gambia 2-4. They trail South Gambia 7-6-48. It is the 29-minute mark on my clock, perhaps 2 or 3 minutes to go.
Sammy Clark up against Mick Ryan. Sammy Clark gets up wide, punches the ball down. Ryan just stood there and blocked him. Josh Ransom's pulled out of the pack, and the umpire now will bounce the ball. Kushel was in there for East Gambia. Simon Quinn, Benny O'Dine. East need a lift, another goal here, and it just might give him a bit of a sniff. Up they go. Up goes Clark again with Ryan. That'll be happening many a times all day. Ball's at dispute again at this stage of the game. South Gambia would be just loving this, because every second now will mean that South Gambia don't allow East to go forward. Umpire Mel Booth. Up goes Clark and Ryan. Ryan just stands there. Clark hits it forward. Comes forward to Stewart, the speedster. He gets it down towards Fraser Scanlon. He'll try to get about on that left boot. Harasses him there as Daniel Stratford. It comes out to South Gambia. They run the ball away. Here's a chance for the two boys. Stewart and Fraser Scanlon. Gets around on that left foot. He drives the ball out here now in front of Big Scotty Ward. Good punch there by Trent Milley. It comes out to brother Cam. In there is Larkin. Well done by Kelvin Cook. Comes out to South Gambia. Brent Howard, he hasn't got an opponent all day. He kicks in. Copping. Herbert. Great mark by Herbert. He should have been paid that. Rose pulled to the ground, and umpire Mel Booth is going to come in and adjudicate to throw the ball up.
Bit of byplay between Quinn and Rowe. They're all part of the game. Get the
Certainly
ball, boys, and Mel Booth's got it up. It goes. And Sammy Clark started to get on top in the last 5 minutes, so it could be that bit of youth on his side, because Mick Ryan's done a magnificent job, and he just clears a bit of grit or blood or something from his face there. Gone nowhere the ball, and umpire Mel Booth in front of that big pack flicks the ball up. Boys shade their eyes from the sun again. On that spring goes Sammy Clark, punches it towards the boundary, and it's the other Sam in Copping's got the ball. He tries to keep the ball alive, but it's Sims. He can't do that, and it will end up in the hands of boundary umpire Simon Wilson, who may be heading to Adelaide in the SNFL to join his brother. Who knows? All the best if he does. Simon Wilson will spin the ball back in, and it'll be the old bull and the young bull. Mick Ryan just props there, gets the hit out down to Somerville. He coughs it up, ends up with Jennings, ends up with Josh Ransom. Nobody can get a boot the ball. Throwing himself on the ball there was an East player, but umpire Mel Booth comes in. Cool heads, boys, going nowhere. It's a draw. Give it to me. And it was Simon Quinn, as he's been on many occasions this year, on the bottom of the pack. Up goes the ball again. Up they go. It's a draw, and it is definitely a draw, because the timekeepers have had the final say, as they always will. Good old father time beats us all, and it is all over in the first half. East Gambia did get a rattle on in the end, but perhaps 2 goals short of what they probably wanted. The footy ahead of him, as the umpire does get ready. He holds the ball high, and away we go in the second half. No tomorrow. History only remembers premiers. Up it goes, and it's Clark who pushes it down. We'll give him the advantage there. Ball goes into a pack, spills out. Mitchell from MPAC Homes. He's over the ball. He's jumped on, but the umpire said fairly, and he will come in again, umpire Ward, and he will recommence play. And I reckon that breeze has sprung up a bit, because just looking at some of the east streamers here, it looks pretty strong here at this stage. So up goes that ball with it, south with the advantage of breeze. Punch wide by Ryan. Over the ball there, it was to Josh Wilson. He loses the run of the ball. Jason Dunn's in there. He is happy to see another ball up, and pushing, shoving there. Sims comes up with the ball. You've seen something, David Case.
Well, Simon Quinn scored a full forward, which I think is a good move into these conditions. As Sammy Clark takes the ruck down here. South Gambia. Mick Ryan with that 30-metre handball. Who's on the end of it? It was Heath Sims. It didn't bounce kindly for him. Comes out to Jason Rowe here, and unfortunately for Kane Ransom, the ball's dropped into Rowe's hands.
And Kane Ransom means business this half, because he's got the short sleeve on. Away Rowe goes. 16 votes in the medal this year. He's happy. He pumps it forward over the back of the pack. It's a loose ball. Was there a push there? There was an infringement, and the umpire is signalling it's going to go to East Canberra, I think, but he's waving his hands everywhere. Leroy, as usual, is going to dispute it. So good live from Leroy. And the ball is in the hands of O'Connor, and he looks upfield, and I'll tell you what, he's got a few decisions to make, and he goes the old faithful and just hugs the boundary. Backman's delight, pumps it up, sits up in front of the pack using his head. Heath Mitchell's got the ball. He sees an option quickly in the pocket. He spears the ball in, and number one, the big fella, Leroy Capewell, the last premiership coach at South Gambia, he has the opportunity to perhaps just nudge the current coach, Mick Ryan, towards his first flag as coach of South Gambia. And he's tucked on the boundary line, some 30 metres out, He has 2 goals, former leading goal kicker in Western Border, puts it on the boot, just guides it nicely. His teammates like it. Goal umpire goes back to the centre and says, 4 points, Bruce McLaughlin, all over, South Gambier, just another goal. 8-6, East Gambier 2-4, and that's on the Summerfields Carpet Court and Window Decor scoreboard. 3-minute mark, catch up footy, and that's the scenario right from the start.
Up they go, Ryan and Clark. Hard at it was Ryan with that left-handed punch. Coming in off the back line was Cam Millick. Big Matty Ellis come in, but there they are again, that combination. Howard, Heath, Sims and co. Matthew Herbert, he's been a good player for East Gambier. Gets it off out towards Joshy Wilson. He keeps his nut over the ball. Benny O'Dine comes in, give him a beautiful hip and shoulder, and the ball's forced free. Comes out, but the boundary umpire over there, and Wilson says, no, boys, it's crossed the white line.
No, Wilson, I've got it, Wilson.
I've got it, Wilson, and where are you, Wilson? He will throw it back in. We're now down towards South Gambia's 50-metre mark as the ball comes back early in the third quarter. Ryan and Clark, they've been at it. Ryan's big body. Anderson couldn't get his hand on it. There comes that Benny O'Dine. They've been good, that East Gambier back 6. It comes out towards Herbert and Kushel again. In there was Paul Mullen. Over the top it was South Gambier. It's a long way over there, Milo. Nick Anzi gets it to Herbert, but once again the boundary line will prove the safety for South Gambier.
South 64, is it 64? The old 54?
54.
54. East Gambier are on 16, and we hit the 4-minute mark. We had too much cake at half time. Don't tell Alicia, she doesn't listen, so if nobody tells her, she won't know. From that boundary thrown, it's Quinn back on the ball, forces the ball forward, desperation. But over the ball there, it was Jake Somerville on that left foot. He quickly gets it forward to Howard. He'll be thinking about Milken soon. He pumps it forward. Drop chest mark there is snatched up by Kane Ransom. He flicks it over to Clark. Clark gets it over to Herbert. Herbert over to Clark. Back to Anderson. Away they go, the East boys. They bomb it down towards centre half forward. Big Harton gets his hands to it. Push in the back there. No play on, says the umpire. Hot potato forced out. Snatched there by Josh Ransom, sorry. Quick handball over to Fraser to Cook. Cook quickly over to Stewart. Flying shot for goal. And it has faded, and that's the story for East Gambier today. Quick movement by East Gambier then, so a bit of promise there, Pero. Bit of action.
That's what they have to do. They've just got to take a risk.
Throw the ball around.
Exactly.
There you go. I looked over my shoulder,
on you there,
and
Milo.
I thought the boys have switched places here in the box, and I saw the ugly mug of Keith Ransom. He's done the interchange with Pero, so they're keeping the old fella alive here. Point to the score of East Gambier. They go to 17, South 54, and bringing the ball in is Harton as he pumps the ball down towards the half-back line. Was there a push? No. Mark taken by Howard. He's away. On his tail is done. Quick kick by Howard deep over the G-spot, and that's the goal spot. Leroy Capel sees the ball punched down. Over the ball is Aaron Clark. He pushes it towards the boundary line. Swooping on the ball there is Watson. He wants to keep it alive. Runs around on the left foot. Flying shot for goal. Umpire McLaughlin thumps his chest and says no go. 1 point. And Watson is looking for that elusive goal, David Case.
Certainly is, Milo, and at this stage South are up and about early in the game. East Gambier have also come out with a different attitude, got a bit of run, starting to throw the ball around a bit, and they'll need to do. They need to do something with their kick-outs though, and just as I speak, Benny O'Dine's gone in short. They've been going that long kick a lot of times, but they go short. Aaron Clark now comes out wide looking for Fraser Scanlon. Scanlon takes the mark in front of his eyes. Look for the handball, but he goes back now, goes down. We need to go down the line. Scanlon now goes down towards in front of the scoreboard here. Big pack of players here. Good mark by Matty Ellis there. He can't, the umpire doesn't play. Gets to that left boot. Good smother by South Gambier there, and Cam Millick, and the ball goes over a bit and will be thrown in right in front of the scoreboard here at Bansida Park. South Gambier 55, East Gambier 17.
East Gambier get the young lads in the action, and even if you go down today, it's a bonus and they can learn for the future. The ball spins back in, up they go. Big Nick Ryan thumps the ball down, and the player there's wrapped up. Desperation stakes there. Over the ball is young Kushel. He keeps ahead. Should have got a free kick there. No, says the umpire. They had a look but said play on. Ends up in the hands of Cootie. Quickly plays the ball forward. Picked up there by South Gambier. They bomb the ball deep into the 50. Leading in the race for the ball is O'Connor. He pushes it towards the boundary line. He loses the run of the ball. Ends up with Watson. He drops the ball. Could have perhaps got a push in the back there. Play on, says the umpire. Quick kick out of the pack there by Nick Anderson. Leading in the race for the ball. It's the Clark version Regan. He gathers the ball in cool and calm. Puts it on the left boot. Kicks it forward. Big Ellis comes out. He marks the ball, and he also marks the head of the South opponent there in number 36. kick. No, technically, he took him over the shoulder.
You can't say that. The boy marked the ball.
It doesn't matter what we think. The umpire has made a decision, and he's got the ball. Colley's got it. I thought he took him high as well. He kicked the ball long. Up they go, and there's the safe hands of Big Lee Peacock, the boy from Glencoe, and he'll go back just outside the 50. He feeds the handball out to Howard. Why not? And Howard has a ping at his fourth goal. Has it got the legs? It's got the distance, but it goes over for a point. And Howard, South Gambier, 8-8 on the Summerfields Carpet Court and Window Decor scoreboard, East 2-5.
And South are up and about, Milo, and East Gambier there went into attack, but well repelled by the South boys. They just got the ball back, and they certainly sprung forward. Benny O'Donnell, Milo, will he go short again, or what will happen as South play the zone inside their 50?
Hit the boundary, David. Hit the boundary.
In he comes, Benny O'Donnell goes outside of 50. The big boys there, Peacock over the back, punches the ball away. It's sprung free and out of bounds, but a free kick has gone to Matthew Herbert. Herbert now off the Kushel. East Gambier trying to run the ball and get something out of it. They come down deep here. South spoiled. Larkham stayed down. Good work. Here's Cam Millick. He's out being chased.
Simon Quinn can't run, shouldn't be in the midfield. It's absolutely stupid. It's suicide. Can't believe it. I can't believe it.
And Leroy Capel kicks his fourth goal, Milo, as a free kick was played downfield by umpire Ward.
Fourth goal.
And Leroy Capel just straight into an open goal and kicked his fourth goal, with East Gambier giving away a down the field free kick in the middle of the ground. And I tell you what,
get the young guns in the Middle East, let them learn, have a go. You never know what could happen. Umpire Ward's got it again. He tosses it up goes Clark. It's a draw. Swooping on the ball there, it was Jake Summerhill. He can't pick it up. Ball spills out of the pack. They're all wrapped up there, and the umpire have no option but to come in because they haven't got it out of the square. Only a couple of metres over from that double circle. He'll flick the ball high, and up they'll go. Big pack there, and it will be Clark and the big fella and Ryan. Ryan again on that left hand gets it down, and he is a champion at South Gambier and a champion of Western Border footy. Going nowhere once again, using up energy, using up time, and umpire Ward will come in once again and recommence play. 61 South, East Gambier 17. Up they go, and it's Mick Ryan again, getting monotonous, hits it out the back, hot potato, ends up with South, but they are wrapped up and can't get it out. Umpire will pluck a free kick just to get it out of his area so he doesn't have to work so hard soon. He's only human. We always got to remember that. They're only human, the umpires. Up they go, the big fellas, and it's Ryan again, and he just, on right hand this time, punches it forward, back into the pack. British Bulldog here, Nick Anderson over the ball. I'd say he was pushed there, but the umpire said no. He's going to come in and recommence play once again. Umpire Ward, number 5 from the Victorian panel, and he'll toss the ball high as that big pack just moves a little bit closer to the South goal on this occasion. Mick Ryan again, he just back palms it, ends up with Quinn. He finds the space to get a kick. He tumbles a mongrel punt forward. Good mark there by Cook. He feeds a handball out to Coot. Perhaps could have been a free upfield, but play on, says the umpire. Was there a push there? No. Play on, says umpire Ward. He's umpiring the whole ground, umpire Ward. He's everywhere. He must be getting more money than Mel Booth.
Yeah, Boothie certainly hasn't had to make many decisions.
Kick it anywhere. John Ward's everywhere, guys.
As the umpire will throw it back in. It's inside of East Gambier's 50, right here in the heart of Banter Park, and the bathing in sunshine at this time as the players just push the ball back over again.
Milo, is it any benefit for the job that Simon Quinn's doing to get either O'Connor or Ben O'Dine on the ball?
Have to. Got fresh legs. It has to be. I mean, Simon Quinn, with all respect, can't run. I know he's doing the courageous thing, but you've got to use the nous a bit. Up they go, and it's Mick Ryan just once again. I know what side of the pack I'd be sitting on if I was an on-baller. Ends up with Cam Millick. He bombs the ball right into the G-spot, which is the goal spot, but one of the very best and courageous players for East Gambier, Nick Anderson. Have a look, East supporters. You find out who your real footballers are today, and there's one of them. Jason Dunn takes a strong mark. Away they go, and it's Benny O'Dine. He gets it over to Johnny Coote. Son in Martin, son of a gun. He pumps the ball in. Free kick there, play on, says the umpire. Ball ends out with Fraser Scanlon. He's away. Keeps the ball in front of him. Keep your eye on the ball, son. He's over the ball there. He's got it. He's having a go, the young fella. Give the young kids a go, and they might do it for you, East Gambier. No option there, the umpire. And Mel Booth, he'll come in, recommence play. True centre half forward position, right in the middle of the 50 there. East Gambier got it in their forward line. Big question at the 12-minute mark. Can they get it through the big uprights? Up they go, and it's Matty Ellis gets it down. Ends it up with a machine gun boy and Adam Stewart. He He is tackled quickly, and he's hot potato today, the umpires. A great tackle there by Trent Millick, one of the big boys. He is rewarded with the free kick. He thumps the ball quickly forward. Sammy Clark, so he can't take the mark off all hands as the other Sammy Copping. He bombs the ball deep into the forward line. Watson's still looking to get that first goal. On hands and knees, he feeds the ball out. Big Leroy Capewell swoops on it. He wraps up the East Gambia opponent there. And when Leroy's got you, you're gone, David Coates.
Certainly are, and I'll just cross to Perro here. Nick Anderson's had a superb 10 or 15 minutes in this quarter. Perro's been in and under.
Nick Anderson's been fantastic, and I guess he's got a very sick young brother, and I guess he's could be playing this game for him.
And it's the ball's in dispute.
Holding the ball, David.
Yes,
hot potato.
Yes, Mel Booth there, right on the spot, and been a very consistent umpire.
It's starting
all
to
day.
build. I reckon he can get a goal. You can just feel that something's
they've
building.
got it. They know that the grand final is starting to run the footy, which I've been very impressed with. Fraser Scanlon's on there, this kid's getting some kicks. Copping comes in on the mark. Scanlon chips the ball in looking for Larkham. Harton just punches forward. Numbers at the footy. Mitchell's getting some kicks. Well done by Nicky Anderson again. Benny O'Donnell, he's been, the ball just won't bounce for East. It comes out here now towards where Howard again. Can he kick his fourth goal? Kicks it up. Aaron Clark should mop up and should mark the ball right on the goal line. Heath Sims on the mark now. Aaron Clark, he's got to find someone down the field. East Gambia's standing up in this early stages. Up they go. Good mark in front there by East Gambia, and that's Matthew Herbert. He's been another great player.
Josh Stark on Sammy Copping off.
As Herbert comes down that wing down there. Good mark there by young Fraser Scallon again. He didn't get paid. Comes out to Jason Dunn. Few of these players getting a bit of the footy here, Milo. Sammy Clark, or is it Kushel?
Number 5, Case.
Turns around. I thought it was you for a Milo, but he's got a bit more hair than you. He comes down here towards Justin Kushel. Great mark. East Gambia, Matthew White.
Number 5 paid the mark.
Good move by Quinny there. He's just taken himself off to have a look at that knee again, and young Matthew White has taken a mark now.
Kicked a couple of goals in the game against South early in the season over in the Kennel and got East back in the game.
And to spread out while he's shooting.
We'll give him the benefit of the doubt. He's got the ball and he's going to have a dig, Matty White, and he's very deliberate, and he's on a fairly slight angle. He comes in, body over the ball, keeps it low, it holds up, and you were right, Keith Ransom. Back to the back line, son. He's kicked it out of bounds on the full, and that means South Gambia will have possession of the ball, and they have the opportunity through Brent Howard. He's running for the free balls as well, Brent. He's building up the stats. He's having a great day. Kicking goals in the midfield, in the back line, and he's a true champion. And Brent Howard's got the ball, and he'll bring it back into play, and he hugs the boundary there, bombs it up high. Mark that and play fair, boys. And I reckon Sammy Clark might have no play on, says the umpire. Ball spills out the back of the pack, and East Gambia going nowhere. And I reckon it was young Fraser Scanlon thought he had a bit of a purchase on that ball, and it'll be umpire Ward will recommence play right on the edge of the square on the scoreboard side of the ground.
And it comes out now here, and Heath Mitchell tries to get over it. The thief Paul Mullen, well shepherded by Kelvin Cook there. In over the ball is Paul Mullen there, I think, and big Matthew Ellis. There's a free kick's been paid out here, Milo, and I think it's going to go the way of Heath Mitchell. It must have been something happening in the pack.
A boy from MPAC Homes with a white helmet.
Certainly has, mate, with the helmet on his head. He comes in now, and he will try to drive South Gambia deep. He goes down that scoreboard flank where most of the football's been all day. Over the top, in front there was Nick Anderson. Well done by Nick. He takes him on. He's having a red-hot dip out there. It comes out wide, but goes out of bounds over the boundary line and will be thrown in once again. Right in front of that scoreboard there, and we see South Gambia 61 leading East Gambia 17.
16 on my clock, and East Gambia done everything with that Gebhardt's footy this quarter except put it through the big sticks, and that's what you have to do. So South holding sway, going to scenario at this stage in the third quarter as big Mick Ryan just lays on the East Gambia boy there and forces another ball up, and that was Jason Dunn, two of the great veterans of Western Border footy there. Up goes the ball, up they go as Mick Ryan punches towards the centre of the ground, ends up with Larkin for East Gambia on the left foot. He bombs it down towards the centre half forward position, destroyed there by Anderson, punch forward again by Anderson. East Gambia have the numbers there. Umpires looking through the pack there and around players. I don't know if that's good umpiring, but he's over there now. In doubt, go the ball up, and it's young Justin Kushel who comes up with the ball. Still basking sunshine out there, the boys. The breeze hasn't let up. Up they go. Mick Ryan once again, perhaps hit out number 20 at this stage, heading for 30 or 40, I'd say. He pumps it forward. One of the South boys finds Leroy Capewell in front where all good forwards are, and he's just inside the 50, and he has the opportunity to take his tally to 5 as Tommy O'Connor stands on the mark. no angle to speak of, so Leroy Capewell should have no trouble at all as Coots off for East and Scotty Ward on. And Leroy Capewell just comes in casually, number one, and he's thinking about the celebrations, I'd say, the big fella, and he just thumps it over the top of the goal umpire, who just has to move a bit. Big Bruce McLaughlin says, I like it, Leroy, and South just go marching on, and well done, South Gambia.
Yeah, Hooker, you'd have to be on fire at this stage because you've won, I reckon.
Pero, East have had a go, but they haven't scored. South have scored, and they keep that margin.
Yeah, there's no doubt that East lifted their intensity this quarter, Milo, and you're spot on with what you're saying. I mean, they've probably had as much ball as what South have had in this quarter, but obviously just haven't been able to get it through. But look, you can't deny that East have had a real go this quarter.
They certainly have had a red hot go, and the ball is on the half-forward line, and leading front is the captain, Cook. He gets it out to young Kushel, who's tackled perfectly. Don't feel too hard on yourself, son. That was the perfect tackle by the thief. Well done, Paul Mullen, and he knows all about premiership footy under pressure, and he's had a little rest and he's back on the ground, and he has the opportunity to spear that ball forward again for the premiership Demons at this stage. Thump down towards the half-forward line. A bit of volleyball there, sees the ball out in front of Josh Stark. He can't get a handle on it, and the ball will go out over the boundary line, some 60 metres out, scoreboard side at the Mecca. South Gambia 67, East Gambia 17. That's a 50-point margin on the Summerfields carpet court and window decor scoreboard as Mick Ryan just blocks the jump once again of Sammy Clark, punches the ball down, and umpire says play on. There was no infringement there. I'm going to give the advantage. Ball goes forward, ends over the back to pack to Scotty Ford. He breaks the tackle, spears a handball out to Reagan Clark. He spins the ball in his hand and kicks it forward to the forward line. Destroyed there by Cameron Millett. Coming through there is Ellis for East. Dropped by young Stewart. Quickly gets the ball on the boot. Finds Kelvin Cook. Runs into an open goal. Bang! There's that goal that East were waiting for. East Gambia third goal. They go to 3-5-23. South Gambia 10-8, and that's on the Summerfields carpet court and window decor scoreboard. First goal for Captain Kelvin Cook. And the netball girls haven't forgotten us, because we can tell you in the A grade, North Gambia 61 defeated the young Hamilton side 32, so perhaps a similar scenario to footy what we're seeing here. A reserve Hamilton 54 defeated South 41, B grade Hayward 47 defeated North 43, and C grade Hayward 42 defeated East Gambia 26. Back to the footy, and the ball ends up with Josh Wilson. He rugby throws it over to the thief in Paul Mullen. He pumps the ball into the 50 to a loose player who perhaps takes the mark. Has he taken it? No, you dropped it like an OK Python. Play on, and it's Leroy Capewell with the ball. He spears it inboard to Brent Howard. Flying shot for goal. He thumps it forward, puts out one big mitt, and it's Lee Peacock snatches the ball, and he has the opportunity. The big number 24, been a serviceable player this season and today for South Gambia. Just that other tall option, does a job. He has the opportunity to post his first and South Gambia's 11th goal. And Sammy Clark on the mark, 5 metres out, tight angle, bang, there it is. One goal, Lee Peacock.
And certainly did a good job there, and both to the two coaches, respective coaches back here. What do you reckon, boys? Either one of you?
I think, obviously, look, South have, even though East have come back this quarter, there's no doubt that South have got the momentum. And look, provided they do it the right way, they can get plenty out of this next 45 minutes, irrespective of how this game ultimately goes.
Spot on, Pero, and from that hit out, the umpire said there was an infringement, and it ends up with Sammy Clark. He feeds a handball out the back door to the running Herbert. He's going to keep trying the Herbie. He pumps it in, the ball spills in front of the pack. Ward was mad hard, kept his eye on the ball. Do a big pre-season, Wardy, and you'll be in here as a regular, son. Ball ends up with Jason Dunn. He flicks a handball out, ends up with the boy in Stewart. And you reckon they've targeted him today when he gets the ball, David Case? Adam Stewart. They hit him hard with absolutely everything. No free balls today.
I tell you what, mate, young Scotty Ward, he has had a huge impact in this last 5 or 10 minutes. He's had 4 or 5 big hits on players, and his big body up there, he's just running through the pack. In goes Ellison Ryan. The umpire threw it, neither player could get it. Ryan thumps it forward. Hart and punt. Well, look at this.
Here they go.
Just a team plan. It's like a train and run dog. Aaron Clark gets the footy. He gets dragged down. Comes out to Cooch. He's been under the pump. Good tackle by Brent Howard there, but he's got... No! There, Milo. Look, I'm not going to say anything because you
I
can
will.
see
Bad umpiring.
Yeah.
Long as they're consistent.
Yeah, Milo. It comes out here now to
Consistently bad.
Jossie Wilson. Good mark by Jossie Wilson there.
Umpires haven't had a bearing on the result.
No, they haven't, Milo.
They
I
haven't
agree
at all.
totally.
No bearing at all.
Has Josh Wilson now. He's played a very good game as well, Milo. He comes in towards there. Up goes young Stark, and I think he might have marked it, Milo. Certainly has. A little boy in the middle of the pack there, Milo, has just jumped up and taken a mark at 15 years of age. What a moment this will be.
And on the ground there, Sean Watson. Has he done a knee or is it cramp?
Cramp.
Let's hope he's okay. As the mop of hair, the boy from the Bay who had a hit out the state under 16s this year, and he's got a lot of footy in him. Played a bit of footy up at Glenelg, so he's obviously got some decisions to make in the future. The boy from the Bay, number 68, he'll go with the right foot, body right behind it. Beautiful kick. Did not deviate. Kicks like the old man David, I reckon.
I don't think so, Milo. I seen his old man kicking. He couldn't kick over a jam tee, mate.
Going to build him up a bit, Dave.
South
First
Gambier,
goal.
12 goals, 8 are currently running away with this grand final. It's become all one way, and it's all the red and whites now.
Capewell 5 goals, Brent Howard 3, the rest singles, Rowe, Mullen, Peacock.
Dominating all over the ground, aren't they, Dave?
Back in the guts at the Mecca, and up they go. Mick Ryan again with that left hand. Just block his left hand. Wake up, boys. The ball's forced forward. Up they go, and it's Leroy Capewell like a steam train. He's good enough and quick enough to wheel around. Feeds a handbell out to the young gun Stark. Flying shot for goal. Has he kicked his second? No. Bruce McLaughlin's from the Bay as well, didn't he?
Yeah.
You thought he could have given the boy the benefit of the doubt there. So there's no free pies down at Stark's for Bruce.
Not cash for comment there was Brucey, because he's on the lettuce leaves now. I reckon he's that thin, Milo. In comes Aaron Clark now. What's he going to do? Sorry, it's his brother and Reagan. They look the same. Comes out to Nick Anderson, I reckon, and I will check with Perro later. I reckon he's East Gambia's best player. He goes down towards that scoreboard side.
Jake Summerfield off with a bit of blood.
Comes out to Stark again.
Kim Jennings
Stark
on.
turns around on that right boot, kicks it in. Tommy O'Connor. Can he get it? Kane Ransom gets it out to Tommy O'Connor. Crossed here to Reagan Clark. He has no one to kick to. Now he goes in, cool, calm as you like. Pushes out there was Benny Anderson. Should have been maybe a free kick. Benny O'Dine, he's been sensational as well. He just can't take a trick. Young Stark in towards Leroy. Here's another goal, you'd think, Milo, as he kicks another one, Leroy.
Half a dozen.
Yes, he's kicked 6 goals and he has been on fire. Look out this week, mate, I can tell you now. All whipper-snipping, all lawn mowing, all leaf picking up will be half price at Leroy's cutting or whatever.
He'll go for another year, won't he, Keith?
Well, I just pay compliments here. Jason Rowe, who we know is a fantastic player. I think Kane Ransom stitched him up.
He has done a great job.
Kane.
And as I said earlier, it's one of those indications, East Gander and your supporters and your club and your brains trust. You will get the indication today, the players you can build on for the future. Out off that kick off the half-back line, it ends out with Benny Anderson. He goes the big bomb right into the forward line. Up they go. Leroy Capewell couldn't mark it. Captain Kelvin Cook is happy to run the ball over the boundary line. As on my clock, we hit the 26-minute mark, and that pie footy, which is sometimes called the Gebhardt footy, is in the hands of Reagan Clark, who's building up his stats. He's the everywhere man today. He's got the ball. He thumps it wide towards the defensive side of the 50 there. Seeing the ball go over the boundary line, the boys are pretty happy, particularly the South boys, because they know the ball's still in their area. They can regroup, and the big fella and Mick Ryan will give them another opportunity from this boundary throw in, as the ball will spin back in. And here we go, the ball spins back in, and it will be Ryan against Clark. Ryan again double hands it down, and it's Stark who swoops on it. Flying shot for goal again. I'll tell you what, he's found the opening, the young fella. 2 goals, Josh Stark.
And he did this last time, Milo. He came on.
Kicked 4 goals last time.
And I tell you what, Milo, look, I'm just going to say so. I feel pretty damn. I feel really sorry for the East back. Just absolutely fantastic, and none better than
Premiership
Mick Ryan
professional. And really, what's unfolded today, David, and I mean, if you thought about it, it's the experience under pressure versus the youthful enthusiasm, and South just settled so quick with that experience, and they've just gone on with it. As Mick Ryan goes up, he flicks the ball down, and there's a running Sam Copping. Look out, the swooping in front of him is a teammate there in Baden Knight. He pumps the ball wide, and it'll go out of bounds just in front of Leroy Capewell and Tommy O'Connor there, and the pack will just move down, and the boundary umpire will spin it back in, and it will be Sammy Clark. And on this occasion, he'll have to do battle with Lee Peacock, as Coach Mick Ryan just sits back on the wing there as Peter Harton joins him him there. Ball spins back in, up they go, and it's Sammy Clark forcing it down. Baden Knight forces his way through the pack and gets a quick kick over the ball there with a bit of help from the teammates. Comes Reagan Clark. He drives the ball in towards the middle of the ground. Swooping on it is Ellis. Away you go, Sonny gets onto the left foot, tumbles a mongrel into the forward line. It's a 2-on-1 back here. Free kick there to Stewart if you're serious, umpire. Play on, he said, but that's the way it goes.
Yeah,
flicked out the back by East Gambia. Stewart, kick it off the ground, son. I will, Uncle Milo, and he does that and he kicks a goal, and that's his first goal.
Milo.
East Gambia go to 4-5 on that Summerfield's carpet court and window. They call scoreboard 29, trailing South Gambia in the last moments of the Premiership quarter, 14-9-93.
Umpire Ward will throw it up deep in the third quarter of the grand final here of the Western Border Footy League. Sam Clark and Nick Ryan, they'll wake up tonight, wonder to know where they are when they both get home. Big Sammy, cross to Ellis. He gets it out wide to the running Herbert. He's just starting to run now. They go down towards Big Ward. He can't get near it. Cam Millick, he's been sensational back there. He comes out towards the centre wing line. Sammy Copping there. Look at him, mate. The little barrel. He comes down that half forward line looking for and finding Leroy Capel. Great passage of play, South Gambia. Two beautiful kicks, and Sammy Copping finished off beautifully. Putting it on the big fella's chest, Mac. Milo, and I tell you what, it was like a big mohair.
What's the record goals in the Western Border Grand Final? We got any there?
No.
Bruce McAvaney, can he help us out? Leroy's probably ticking over. It might only be 8 or 9. I could get this today.
Des Trotter era, Milo. Would he have kicked 9 or 10 or something like that? Eric Freeman
We'll
kicked
hit the
8.
record books.
Leroy comes in on goal and he's kicked it, Milo. He has kicked it from the boundary line. He was that close. He was nearly in it faster.
Number
and
7.
He's got 7 goals to Leroy Capel as South Gambia. Every time East Gambia get a goal, they come back and answer, and they made that look fantastic. Their back line run the ball beautifully.
And just to be different, Nick Ryan's back in the centre square, another lion-hearted effort as expected, and he'll be doing battle against Clark, and it is Mick Ryan again. He double fists it forward, ends up with Sims there. He pushes the ball wide where his running teammate there in young Stark can't pick up the ball. Ball's forced wide, pushing his way through there is Brent Howard. He pushes it forward, coming out there, teammate Peacock whips it back out to Howard, who thumps the ball down in towards the pocket there. Umpire's seen a free kick,
Leroy.
and it's going to go to South Gambia. And it is Leroy Capel, the big number 1, tucked in on the boundary line, some 30 metres out. He's going to have centre stage. Take your time, big fella. Enjoy the ball, enjoy the footy, and you may kick your 8th goal. Big Leroy Capel over the ball, socks down. And it's just easy as football, Leroy says. It's on the field day here today. He has a look at the sticks. Not much to see, but he's kicked a couple of goals from this angle earlier today. And he comes in over the ball. There it goes, just stabs at the ball. Has he done it? I think the umpire likes it. Comes back to the centre. Yes, Uncle Milo. 2 fingers, 8 goals. Thank you very much, Leroy Capel. South Gambia heading for flag number 10. Double figures.
Yes, Milo, it's certainly all over. I cannot see East Gambia getting anything out of this game other than a bit of respect, and most probably that's going to take a while to happen in this quarter, but I really did think that East had a red-hot dip that.
Young Josh is in there, young Sammy Clark and Dunny.
Okay.
But it's good to see young Aaron Clark in here, because I think he's been one of East's best players.
Up they go, and Mick Ryan again hits it down and pushed forward by Jason Dunn, but kicked off the ground there by Sims for South Gambia, swooping on the ball there. Gee, it's desperate. Fraser Cannon can't pick up the ball. Quick kick out of the pack there by East Gambia. Sees Cameron Millick gather the ball in. He bombs it up high, just sits up nicely. Up they go. Fraser Scanlon drops a mark, gathered in by Knight. He's away. Big bomb into the forward line. Up they go. Leroy Capel perches himself in front of that pack there. The ball will hold up today. Don't need many brains to work it out. You've got to be in front on most occasions. If you can keep your opponent out, it's going to end up in your hands or on your chest. And Leroy Capel, heaven forbid, going for 9th goal, some 30 metres out, directly in front. We're going to find out what the record is in grand finals, Case.
Certainly will, Milo, and he comes in 30 metres out, directly front, kicking in front of a stiff breeze. He makes no mistake of that, Milo. I think he might have got it, although the umpire's run across. 1 point only. How good a judge am I?
That was his easiest shot today, perhaps.
It certainly was, Milo.
and it'll be Benny O'Dine once again to bring that ball in, and he's going to go the doctor and just puts his body right behind that ball and thumps it down towards the midfield. Last man back in Tommy O'Connor, the fullback. He's taken a risk, whips a handball out to Dunn for East Gambia. He goes forward and finds the hands of the running Scotty Ward. Big pre-season Scotty, and no matter, you'll see what sort of footy you can play next year, son. He bombs the ball down into the forward line. Up they go. Good mark there, forcing his way to the front. Is that Captain Kelvin Cook?
Kelvin Cook.
It is Captain Kelvin Cook, and he's been a good contributor today, and he's going to show his character and run this game right out. He's got the ball in his hands. Leroy Cape will kick the goal from a similar position in that third quarter, and Kelvin Cook will be looking for his second goal. Former Western Border leading goal kicker. Uncle Mile, I'd love to see him one on in the forward line all year, because, gee, he's a great player up there. Good recovery, good in the air. In he comes, Kelvin Cook, body over the ball. Does the umpire like it? Teammates like it. Will Bruce McLaughlin like it? Yes, he does. East Gambia edge back with that goal. It's their fifth. First player for East Gambia to reach double figures. Kelvin Cook, 2 goals.
And Perro, I reckon he's been very high up there in East best players.
Which includes Mick Ryan. We've spoken about South Gambia over many years with different on-ballers, with the same ruckman that's been here for the last 10 or 12. And I tell you what, it's an absolute credit to Ryan. I can tell you, he's just one of the best country exponents of rucking you'd ever want to see.
Built the side around him. Up they go, and Kelvin Cook, we've asked him for an effort, and out of the centre quickly. It ended up with Scotty Ward, and Scotty Ward thumped the ball in quick, and Kelvin Cook has just rose up. He's got a beautiful spring, this boy, and he'll go back, and he has the opportunity. Captain Cook, number 19, some 35 metres out, dead in front, to register his third and East Gambia's 6th goal. That word P-R-I-D-E is at stake here in this final quarter. It's pride. As I said to the East Gambia supporters, have a good look. This is where you'll find out the players that will carry you on into the future, the ones that have a go. Kelvin Cook's having a go, onto the boot, over the goal umpire's head, all over, Red Rover, another goal. Thank you very much. Kelvin Cook, 3 goals.
And boys, just remember for the future, when I'm not around, maybe the next few years, just remember a young bloke's name by the name of Scott. Umpire Ward throws it back up. 5 minutes in, and South Gambia still enjoy over a 66-point lead. It comes out to Heath Sims. He tries to kick it off the ground. The East boys and the South boys here both having a red-hot go, even though we're very late in the last
Dogs have
quarter.
got a sniff case.
They certainly have, Milo, and don't you worry. You've been around the club long enough, and I know that Hooker has it. They won't go down fighting. In comes umpire Ward. Nick Ryan, for me, best on the ground. Two-handed push forward. Kane Ransom's done a great job unheralded today on young Rowie. It comes out to Dunny. He's starting to get a bit of the footy. Back to Nick Anderson. A very good player, Nick Anderson, today. Comes out here now towards Matthew Ellis. The South boys look a little bit tired now, Milo, but they've nearly done enough. Ellis now comes inside, has a look for Larkham. No, it's not. Oh, it's a free kick there to Aaron Clark. Well done by umpire Mel Booth. He's had a good game today, Mel Booth, and should feel very proud of himself as Aaron Clark comes in now, and he's going to have a shot on goal some 55 metres out, maybe directly in front, Milo.
And right on that mark is one of the greats from South Gambia, and Heath Sims. He goes around him, kicks it wide to the spaces, and it is Fraser Scanlon there that pushes the ball towards the boundary line. He's going to be happy to see it go over there because it's a draw. It's just inside the 50 for East Gambia. They have the opportunity to regroup and perhaps snatch that ball and whip it through the goals, and it'll be Matty Ellis and the big fella Mick Ryan, who's rucked all over the ground today, and the ball spins back in. Up they go, pushing, shoving over the back there. It was an East thump, punch down. Nobody can get through the pack there because they're wrapped up. Ball does spill out. Quick handball ends up with Mick Ryan, racking up the kicks now. Big Mick pumps the ball down to the wing. Mark dropped there by South, picked up by Benny O'Donnell, who's been a good worker today. He gets it over to Matty Herbert. He thumps it down to the G spot, but finds the chest of the thief, Paul Mullen, number 22, heading for flag number 8, I'd say, just about. And he thumps the ball wide towards the pocket there and finds Heath Sims, who'll just cool things down. He'll go inboard, and his kick is dropped short, and it's found one of the young guns for East Gambia in Josh Ransom, number 10, just inside the square. He saw an option there, but it was manned up. He's going to go long with that trusty left foot, bombs it deep into goals. Was there a free kick there? No. Play on, says the umpire, as the big fist destroys it, and it goes over the boundary line, and the umpire will spin the ball back in as the big pack just moves down to the front of the goals of East Gambia, some 10 metres out.
And the ball gets thrown back in here, right down there in the teeth of East goal square. Scotty Word in there against, Matty Ellis up there against the big fella, and Mick Ryan again. It comes out here. Bodies go down. In there is Cam Millick. Comes out here towards Ryan Larkham and Jason Rhodes, just back on the ground. Larkham gets it. Handballs over here towards Kane Ransom. Ransom back over to Fraser Scanlon. Nearly got it over to Ryan Larkham there, but the ball goes over the boundary line and will be spun back in right there in front of 40 metres. Right over there in front of the scoreboard side, which the footy's been most of the time. Umpire throws it back in now. South Gambier well and truly got two hands on one handle of this cup. Up they go. Ellison Ryan, he's rucked tirelessly all day, the big fella. Scotty Ward, that's my man there, Milo. Kicks it high in the air. He goes at it again and nearly marks it again. Free kick paying for too high, and South Gambier will receive the free kick through the courtesy there of Trent Millick, who's had a great game, Milo. He goes out well wide here now, looking for and finding Heath Sims, I think, Milo. Touches the ball on the ground. Runs through the midfield now, he does, on his left foot. Drives it in deep, looking here for Capewell and Stark. They flew high. Comes out here now to South Gambier through Howard. He's in here looking for Cotton. Pushes Matthew White off. He's still got his hand over the top of it. Still in there fighting South Gambier. Good tackle by East. Dropping the ball there maybe, but the umpire said play on, because he's the man in the best position to see it, Milo.
I would have paid hold the man then, but I'm not an umpire.
There you go, Milo. That's why you're a ruckman. You stick to being a ruckman, Milo.
I know, an old ruckman.
Yeah.
The ball will be spun back in, and it's back in attack for South Gambier. They're looking to add to their 16-11 scoreline as just round from the point post, the umpire will just spin the ball in. Leroy Capewell just sitting back ready to swoop on it for his 9th goal. Over the back of the pack, the ball spills out. Throwing himself on the ball there is young Kushel. Drags it in. Got to get it out, son. Easter got the numbers there. It's a quick handball out by Nick Anderson. Gives the run of the ball to Mick Ryan. He's doing the ruck roving as well now. Mick slops it on the boot like an OK pie shot pie. It was blocked there. It was Jennings gets a quick kick out. Over the ball there is the player in Howard. He's tackled and wrapped up. Will the ball spill out? No decision by the umpire. He shades his eyes from the sun. Beautiful sunshine here. As with the Minnesota Grand Final last week, we've been absolutely lucky with the weather today. And as we hit the 9-minute mark of the final quarter, South Gambier looking like their 10th premiership. Up they go, and it's a hit out that goes towards the boundary off the hands of the two ruckmen, and it is that boy, Brent Howard, who's had a great game, kicking 3 goals and plenty of possessions all over the ground, who's happy to see the ball go out of bounds, and the boundary umpire in Simon Wilson will spin the ball back in, and it will be Peacock and Clark. Up they go, flicked over the back nicely by Peacock. Copybook ruck work in the forward line. Rowe loses the run of the ball. Picked up and wrapped up was Kane Ransom, throwing themselves on the ball there, the players. Picked up by Nick Anderson. He gets the ball moving with a screw punt that spins nicely. Fraser Scanlon, who's made the most of his opportunities today, has got the ball. He's a bit undecided. He'll go with that left foot. Yes, he does. He goes wide to the lead of Ryan Larkham, who got away from his opponent there in Harton, who was trying to cover space from 2 players then. And right on the edge of the 50, it is Ryan Larkham who has the opportunity to post his second and East Gambier's 7th goal at the 10-minute mark of the final quarter.
He's going to make a footballer, young Fraser Scanlon, Milo.
I believe he's a half-forward on baller myself personally, but that's only my opinion.
And the point that David's been making about young Ward, certainly those two boys at the end of the day ain't going to have huge stats, but they certainly haven't been East-West
Well,
players.
you can only judge the players and the kids by the times they get near the ball and they get opportunities, and Ryan Larkham has kicked that goal. Well done, Ryan Larkham. He's continuing to present and have a go. But players get opportunities, Pero. All you can do is assess them on what they make of those opportunities.
Yeah, but this is the thing what South should be looking at now.
Clark and Ryan, they've been at it all day. Aaron Clark's been a good player since he's come on too. Might get him a bit in the midfield. Herbert's in there. Sam Clark just throws it out. Yes, good decision by umpire Ward there, because Sammy Clark was felled unnecessarily after the ball had got free. He kicks it down towards Jason Dunn. He takes the mark in front of Joshy Stark. Turns onto his right foot. Kicks into deep. Over the top will come Harton. He neutralises the ball by punching it forward. Out there to Joshy Wilson. He's done very well. In there now is Fraser Scanlon. Can't pick the ball up, Fraser, and it goes over the bounce and will be thrown in.
Talking young players, one thing very noticeable with Josh Wilson today, cool head.
Oh, fantastic.
Good to see a young player.
Josh Stark
just held his handball back then.
we've talked about the East youth, but I tell you what, young Joshy Stark and also young Josh Wilson have been both good players. Ryan up there against big Matty Ellis. Fraser Scanlon's got his hand over the ball. Harassed there by South Gambier. Jason Rose in there. Kane Ransom, another player, Milo. Might not have had many steps, but by gee, Jason Rowe wouldn't have been held to this amount of possessions for a long time, Milo. Great player, Jason Rowe. But
won
Kane
the ball
Ransom,
as well,
yep.
Kane Ransom. He's got that ball. He goes inboard. The kick slightly off the boot, but it does favour Jason Dunn. He can't take the mark, but he swoops back on it, the veteran. He's away. He shrugs off a tackle and bombs the ball down in towards the 50, but there's a good safe mark there by South Gambier, and it's Collie on this occasion. He goes across to the loose player, and Paul Mullen, the thief, just puts out the one mitt and just grabs that ball. Pushed to the ground by Kelvin Cook. Gets up the thief. He looks upfield, and has he got options? The South boys start to run to the spaces now. He could give it over the little gimme to Anderson there. He'll look upfield and he might go sideways, but no, he's going to go to the doctor and make the boys go to contest. A horrible wobbly punt goes forward. Ball ends up at the front of the pack. Swooping on it, there's the boy from MPAC and Heath Mitchell. Michael checking the mail Monday, I hope. Ball spins out to the wing position where Justin Kushel shows a bit of class against the young Stark. Swoops on the ball, keeps it alive, kicks it out in front of Matty Ellis, but big Mick Ryan's got it covered. Ball goes over the boundary line. Mick Ryan will take his position he has done all day, and perhaps will line up for his 30th hit out, and joining him in the contest will be one of the young guns, the future of East Gambier, Matty Ellis. Up they go. Mick Ryan does that little push, punches the ball forward, picked up by Herbert. Quick handball out to Kane Ransom. Been a great player today, Kane. Done yourself proud, boy. Kicks the ball forward, destroyed there by South Gambier. Hit on by Heath Mitchell, out into the spaces. There's the Sims there. He's the only Sims on the field today, and he's not a genuine one either, David Case.
Yep.
Away from that pack, play on, and it's Reagan Clark. Flying shot for goals.
Yeah.
Has it got the legs? It's got the legs, but not the direction. Bruce McLaughlin's robbed another player of a goal, David Case.
Had a good game, Reagan Clark. I thought over 4 quarters has been a player
Persistent.
of genuine persistence, Milo, and as certainly another player that the Bulldogs
Jennings
look forward
off
to.
and Jake Somerville back on with that shock of hair.
Fellas, the point you made about young Josh Wilson having a cool head, it helps when you're playing alongside blokes that have played in 8 grand finals, winning grand finals.
Well, as I said, that was the formula and the scenario going in today. That experience and the young ones that South don't have to do as much, whereby East a lot of pressure on the young ones with a sprinkling of older players, and South have done exactly what the scenario and the analysation said today. It was all there, and it's just unfolded, and South Gambier marching on to their 10th flag, double figures. We'll check how many Mundella have got in the K&T case. It could be a bit of match-up and rivalry there as the ball moves down to the wing position as it spins back in. Big pack as there's been all day around the ball, walking through the pack. Matty Herbert's been a real goer and a trier for East Gambier today. He gets rid of the hot potato, and his teammate there is wrapped up and going nowhere, and that was Fraser Scanlon, and the umpire will recommence play.
And our sponsors are Summerfields. I wonder how they're feeling now, because particularly young Eliza there, because her so-called friend Matthew Herbert's lined up on young Jacob, mate. So I wonder where she'd be at this stage.
And there'll be a bit of the old by-play going on as well, I'd say. So the ball will spin back in. It's moved down to the half-forward line, about 15 metres out from the south 50. Ball spins back in. It'll be Ellis versus Mick Ryan. And this is good for young Matty Ellis, because he is that pinch ruckman. He'll learn a bit off Mick Ryan as he thinks about it. Ends up with Jason Dunn. Ends up back with the big fella. Well done. Kept trying. Showed your character, Matty Ellis. He pumps the ball forward. Adam Stewart couldn't take the mark, but he gets back on it. Puts the pressure on the South boys. The Mullen boys happy to see the ball head towards the boundary line. And a bit of help from Fraser Scanlon, son of the farmer. Be proud of you today, Fraz. Number 18. We're in the old man's Guernsey. So I'm calling for 2 today, and it's a pleasure to see young Fraser play today.
Ball thrown back in. 15-minute mark with most of the sting gone out of the grand final. South Gambier have got it wrapped up well and truly. East Gambier still in there having a go as players from both sides now, Milo, just about dead on their feet, and they are certainly going to march away with this South Gambier and take a well-deserved premiership, because they have been the best side in 2005.
And the best side for over a decade as we hit the 16-minute mark, and the ball spins back in, swooping on it Stewart, but under pressure he's good enough to get a handball out. Regan Clark can't trap the ball, running through, keeping his body over the ball. Scotty Ward pushes, pulls. Was he retarded? No. Clark tries to get a handball out, ricochets ricochets back to Scotty Ward. He's working very hard. Umpire Booth looks like an old man looking around the corners there. He doesn't give him the benefit of the doubt. He blows the whistle. He'll come in and recommence play. And we've got that big pack just moving down inside the 50, making it a bit harder for East Gambia. Mick Ryan just flicks it over the back. Hit out number 40, I'd say. Run of the ball is with Aaron Clark. Free kick there, no play on, says the umpire. Bursting through there at South Gambia. And I reckon it's the dairy farmer in Brent Howard by the gate there. He thumps the ball forward. Destroyed there by big Tom O'Connor. Losing his feet but still managing to get a hand of the ball was Herbert. Was there a legging there? No play on, says the umpire. Boys having to work hard here as the ball shoots out towards the boundary. Field umpire John Ward said, I'll pluck one, and it's going to go to the East Gambia player in white. Matty White's got the ball, and he's got the opportunity to drive East down towards the wing. He's done just that. He couldn't go any further. The ball spills out the back of the pack, ends up with Mitchell from MPAC home. He spears it over to Summerfield from Carpet Court. He bombs it forward. Run of the ball is Sammy Copping. Away he goes. One look at the goal. Wants his name in the record books. Bang! He's got it there. One goal in the 2005 Grand Final. Wears a very famous number 31, and just quietly, by play, Uncle Ronnie Barassi wants the Swans to win the premiership this year, Case.
And Sammy Clark, what a huge
Sammy
effort,
Copping.
Yeah, but I'm just talking Sammy Clark comes off the ground, and I'll tell you what, mate, he is one of the unsung heroes at East Gambia, an absolute legend in his own right.
17-11, 113 south on the Summerfield's Carpet Court and Window Dayco scoreboard. East 7-6-48. Having a go, the young boys. Keep it up. Up they go. Mick Ryan pushes, shoves, ends up with the handball. Out the back door finds Jason Rowe. He punches the ball forward with a tumbling kick. Over the ball is Aaron Clark. Dodges darts. Round he comes. Dribbles the ball towards the safety of the boundary line. Will it beat Jason Dunn? He slips, but he's good enough to get it. Feeds the handball into the running Nick Anderson. Over the ball coming through is Jake Somerville on that trusty left foot. He bombs it down towards the centre half forward position. Coming through again, one of the good players for East today in Aaron Clark. He gets it over to O'Dine. Good smother there by the worker in Mitchell. O'Dine back on it. He thumps the ball long. One of the very best players for East today in Kane Ransom. Done a great job today, son. He's got the ball in the midfield. He goes forward, pumps the ball over the half-forward line. Is he looking for the hands there of Ellis? Punched down there by Mullen, pushed over towards the boundary line. East Gambia swoop on the ball there. Was it legally? The tackle was legal, said umpire Booth, shaking his head, and he'll come over right on the boundary line, some 15-20 metres round from the East goal, and toss the ball up to recommence play.
Umpire now will throw it in. Up they go. It's Ellis there with his left hand trying to get it back in. There's a group of players there. Players in and at it still hard, even this deep in the court. The ball's still alive. Comes out there to Collie. He gets it away. Jason Rowe getting a few kicks late in the quarter, but Kane Ransom's had his measure today as umpires now will...
Gate 32,000, David.
Thank you very much, Milo, and that's well done by the Western Board. They'll be pretty pleased with that, Milo, I think.
Topped the Middle Gate from last week.
They did indeed, and free budgets here too, Milo, but that's another thing. They throw the ball back in now, right out there in front of the scoreboard. Hooker told me to say that, Milo.
I did not.
Up goes Kelvin.
It was Hooker, Freddie.
As he comes out, now East Gambia, and they're fighting hard. South Gambia, well done, great endeavour. Comes out to Heath Mitchell. Gee, he's had a good game, Milo. He's got it out to Mick Ryan, who now has had like 48 handballs and one kick, and there's another handball. Daniel Stratford down there, well chased by Fraser Scanlon. Comes out here now where South Gambia through Howard. He drives it in towards where Leroy Capel's there. Tommy O'Connor this time has the better of that duel and hits it over the bounce, and the boundary umpire will throw it back in. 20 minutes gone in the last quarter of the Western Border 2005 Grand Final, with South Gambia with the engraver halfway through the premiers written on it.
Number 10, she's on the board. The flag is up and the cup's heading out to Blue Lake Sports Park. Just to be different once again. Ball spins back in, up they go, and the big pack there sees the ball come over the back. Josh Ransom couldn't grab it. Sims could. He's good enough, even though he's tackled to feed a handball out to Copping. He bombs the ball into the 50. Coming out there's the lone soldier and Aaron Clark. There's a 3-on-1 here, picked up by Jason Rowe. Flying shot for goal. Did it have the accuracy? No, says the umpire as he thumps himself on the chest, and that's Jeff Broadwood from the Victorian panel. South Gambia at that other point, 17-12 South Gambia. They lead East Gambia on that Summerfield's Carpet Court and Window Day course scoreboard 7-6. and it will be Jason Dunn on this occasion, one of the veterans at East Gambia, to bring the ball back in play. He checks the mass of players ahead of him. He tries to spear a pass, and he does it successfully to Matty White. He's got the ball still inside the 50, and he'll drive the ball down towards the wing position. He does just that over the back of the pack. Ball's forced to the front of the pack. It's South Gambia hands there, wrapped up, backing up nicely. There was a throw there, said umpire Booth, and the ball will go back to Scotty Ward, who's had a number of possessions in this final quarter. He goes forward to the outreaching hands of Kelvin Cook. He's beaten by the player in Mullen coming through there. He gets a handball over to a teammate who comes through, ends up back with Trent Millick. It was Harton, he forces the ball to the boundary line. We're swooping on it. It's the left footer of Fraser Scanlon. He drives the ball in and he kicks it straight into the arms of Trent Millick, who's been a steady player in the back line there for South today. Ball ends up out the back door to Heath Sims. He's been a good contributor. Who hasn't for South today? That's why they're leading by over 10 goals here. He pumps the ball down towards the half-forward line. Courageous attempt to mark by East Gambia. Ball flicks out of the pack to Jason Dunn, but the umpire says, hold up, boys. I'm going to reward that courageous effort there by Craig Todd. And he'll have the Sharon, and he'll have the opportunity to build up his stats and just generate a bit of movement for East Gambia as one of the good contributors in Heath Mitchell from Impact Homes comes off, gives Adam Salmon a big hug, and Adam Salmon's going to come on after that heavy knock to enjoy some footy. And Fraser Scanlon, who's been one of the shining lights for time on the ground, he presents, gets the ball, wheels around on his left foot, he drives a nice kick into Herbert, another one of the young guns that can hold his head high, and he can say to the Summerfields, he had a go for East Gambia today. Well done, Herbie. He drives the ball towards the pocket there, over the pack there. Ryan Larkham sits back on the ball. The South boys say, he's sitting on it, it's holding the ball on. Mel Booth says, no go, give it to me. It's inside the 50 for East Gambia as we hit the 23-minute mark. And it's South Gambia 17-12, East 7-6 on the Summerfields Carpet Court and Window Decor scoreboard. From the ball up, a handball from Cam Millick ends up out there with the running player and Sam Copping. The no-dos is kicked in for him. He kicks the ball down towards the middle of the ground where Rowe overruns the ball. It's Nick Anderson over the ball. Play Nick Anderson in the midfield all next year, East, if you've got any brains. He kicks the ball down to the teeth of goal. It's punched over the boundary line, and we'll have another point register. Doing it in points, East Gambia 7-7, South 17-12 on the Summerfields Carpet Court and Window Decor scoreboard.
South Gambia now at the 25-minute mark, nearly 17-12, 1-14, leading East Gambia 7-7 as Benny Anderson's got the ball from the kick-out. He will come this way looking for Cam Millick. It's all South Gambia here. He will mark the ball as it holds up. Nick Anderson's down over the top of him. Cam Millick looks forward. What's he got to present to him? He now looks short for Sammy Copping, but instead chips it over to Paul Mullen, who will take the mark just outside of 50.
A lot of guys in the south side today. Case I know Cameron Millick's one. He's had a great season. He's one of the success stories at South, homegrown boy that missed out on the last premiership, so they're really going to enjoy this flag tonight.
Certainly are, Milo. As Paul Mullen, South winding the clock down now. Paul Mullen now inside of East Gambia's attacking side, goes into the middle, just chips forward to the captain himself.
Building up the stats.
That's all they're doing now, Milo. It's all about stats now as Heath Sims runs down looking for the captain coach in Mick Ryan. Out comes up and magnificent.
Well nominated, Dave.
He is just an absolute... He's just an absolute champion, this man. He's been a great stalwart of Western Border footy, and this bloke here has been just as good today in Brent Howard. Howard now, he's about, 45 metres out, kicking into the face of a very stiff breeze, and no doubt he'll chip it across again here to Mick Ryan. Mick Ryan's standing on his own now, 45, 50 metres out as we approach time on in the grand final. Goes in short to his mate, Leroy Capel.
Looking for number 9 on the edge of the 50. You reckon he'll go for the big mongrel?
Oh, mate, there won't be a problem. He's certainly got the kicking power to make this, and got to feel sorry for Tommy O'Connor today because he has certainly had a big task, and this man here presents well, kicks well, and is very passionate about his footies. He goes in looking for, but couldn't find Heath Sims as young Stewart gets one of his few possessions today. Onto that left foot, comes out here wide looking for Scotty Ward and Jason Dunn. Jason Dunn puts his body in over the ball and gets rewarded with a free kick. Jason Dunn now, he's trying right to the end. He kicks it down here towards where Big Ellis is in there. Up goes the Millick boys, they punch it away. Daniel Stratford in there also, content to punch the ball away. But generally, Milo, South Gambia have been the best side by far. Take nothing away from East Gambia, mate, because this is all part of a learning period, and you'll see next year that some of these young blokes will be back to benefit from this.
And a young bloke in Josh Stark comes on for one of their very best older blokes in Brent Howard, and he's still young by virtue of some of the players in Southside. This has been a demon destroyation, as Rexy would say, and the ball will spin back in, and Mick Ryan, he's not having a rest. He's going to see the game right out on the ball. The ball will spin back in. It'll be the young gun and Matty Ellis who'll go up. Mick Ryan gets front position where he's been all his career. He sees the ball forced back to Trent Millick, who tumbles the ball down towards the boundary line where Todd swoops on it. Was he out of bounds? No, he throws the ball on the boot, travels down towards the 50 for East Gambia, and Kim Jennings, he'll be happy coming back into the side. Had a mixed season this year, missed a few games with injury as the South camp start to hug each other and get all excited down there, as the ball will be spun back in as we hit the 27-minute mark on my clock. Father Peter Sims is down there, he's happy. Ball spins in, Mick Ryan palms the ball down, and the umpire's called the free kick, and it will go for over the shoulder. Mick Ryan, I reckon Big Mick's probably had his 10 field possessions today, so he's building up the stats.
Goes backwards, Milo.
And he finds the big fella in Harton, just building up the stats for the fullback. He goes wide to a running player there who's away, and he'll throw the ball on the left boot. And I reckon it is Collie. Collie goes to the wing position, setting a teammate up with a nice kick. Good mark there, and away they go against South Gambia. Handball out in front of Josh Dart. The bounce beats him on that occasion. Was there a free kick? No. Mopping up nicely is Ben O'Dine, who's been a goer. Hasn't given up. Well done, Benny O'Dine. Number 25 thumps the ball down towards the forward line. Off the pack there. There's the siren, putting East Gambia out of their misery. Last touch, big kick by Cameron Millick. All over Red Rover on that Summerfield's carpet court and window decor scoreboard. It was South Gambia 10th Premiership flag 2005, 42nd Western Border season, 17-12, 114. East Gambia 7-7-49, and that is a great effort by South Gambia. They set it up in the first quarter when they used the breeze, kicking 6-5 to 1-1, 34-point margin. They extended that at half-time to a 32-point margin. They extended that right out with the breeze again in the third quarter, the Premiership quarter, to a 76-point margin. And that final quarter, 17-12, 114, East Gambia 7-7-49, as we hear the South Gambia Demon song bellowing out across the Mecca, and the sunshine is still out there, and the South Gambia boys rightly will enjoy and savour, along with their supporters, another premiership, their 10th. Goal kickers for South Gambia: Leroy Capewell with 8, Brent Howard with 3, Josh Stark with 2, singles to Jason Rowe, Paul Mullen, Lee Peacock and Sam Copping, while for East Gambia, Kelvin Cook, the captain, with 3, Ryan Larkin with 2, Fraser Scanlon 1 and Adam Stewart 1. On that note, this has been Milo and
Casey.
All right. And of course, that's for the 5C Scott's Agency's Know-It-Alls footy team, otherwise known as Big Al's Boys. 5C, as always, keeping country footy alive.
Western Border League 2005, won by the Victoria South Gambia Football Club. Congratulations to Mick Ryan and his charges, and commiserations to East Gambia, led by Simon Quinn. I'll certainly go in complete. Now gives me great pleasure to ask Mick Morrow to present the Umpires Award. Thank you, Mick. As I call your name, umpires, please come forward to receive your award. Jane Ward. Anne Booth. Al Winnie. S. Wilson. Jane Broadwood. B. McLaughlin. Thank you, John. present the Premiership medallions to the South Gambia football team. Players, as I read your name, please come forward. Vice Presidents will present your medallions. Number 1, Lee Capewell. Number 2, Brent Howard. Number 5, Jason Grove. Number 6, Heath Mitchell. Number 7, Sean Watson. Number 9, Josh Wilson. Number 11, Cameron Kelly. Number 16, Kim Jennings. Number 19, Adam Salmon. Number 22, Paul Mullen. Number 23, Daniel Stratford. Number 24, Lee Peacock. Number 25, Peter Harton. Number 28, Brent Mills. Number 29, Ben Anderson. Number 31, Sam Copping. Number 36, Jared Collins. Number 40, Baden Knight. Number 49, Jacob Summerfield. Number 68, Josh Starr. The captain of South Gambia, number 34, Heath Sims. And the coach, number 13, Mick Ryan. Today's rider for South Gambia, David Sharp. Simon Ango, Director of the Renault Football Club, to present the Premiership pennant for South Gambia. And now Mr. Mick Morrow, President of the Western Border Football League, will present the Premiership Cup, the captain and coach of South Gambia.
You out again for that next 3 days. Anytime you want.
Let's go, guys! I know, I'm sorry.